So I don't know how I'm going to record the video. Okay. So it says we're live. You are live. So we're going to see. It says pops up on the channel. Da, da, da. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Da, da, da. Da, da,
Oh, yes,
da.
I just got a notification
That we're live.
you were
Okay.
live.
You know, I don't remember how to fire phasers. It's been a while, so we'll just give it a second to get started up here, and we'll see if there's anybody that actually subscribed to the channel that's going to show up on an unannounced live stream. So I'm waiting for it. I'm trying to check on the other computer, trying to check the other stream here just to see if it's popping up.
Yeah.
It's supposed to upcoming live streams. Oh, interesting. It says upcoming live stream at 10:07 p.m. on 9/16, which is today. But it's actually, that's interesting.
10:57, yeah.
So, I don't know. Let's see. Notify me. I wonder what that does if I click on it. Oh, there we are. We are live. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. That's nice. All right, so it's on there. I guess we're live. Well, fascinating.
Awesome.
All right. That's okay. All right, let's start this off right with a toast. Let's see. I don't know. There's not a toast. I don't know. Let's see. I will do this. Sorry. Don't mind me. As you were.
Don't worry, I won't.
No one does. No, YouTube, I don't want to upgrade. No, thank you. Hey, Geek Homeworld is live. There we are.
Awesome.
I can see the channel. Oh, you went dark. Did you mean to go dark?
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
All right.
On purpose.
Alcohol is bad. Don't drink. But we're having a little.
Bad, okay.
We're having a little drink right here. This is the Crooked Cow Coffee Bourbon Cream. That's what it's called.
You know, I saw something in the store the other day and made me throw up in my mouth.
This is some good stuff. I got this locally downtown.
It was PBR and coffee.
Got it from secondcitybeverage.com. You can go to their website. They are not sponsoring this. This is not sponsored. This is just a Saturday night.
Too late. You gave that one away for free.
Yeah, it's a free sponsorship there. But it's the choice of the digital, not
my choice.
So here's a live stream. Let's do the ticker here.
I saw something in the store the other day, and
what was it?
It really grossed me out. It was PBR and coffee.
That's disgusting.
Exactly. I'm like, who the hell drinks that? That's some serious alcoholism going around there.
Hey, we got 2 people watching now. So
2 people. Yeah. Greetings.
Greetings and salutations. Is that how you say it?
No, I say greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs.
Salutations. So
I don't say nothing about no salutations.
What do I do? Go back. Hey, it's live now. There we go.
Live, awesome.
I'm watching my own
Who's
live
watching?
Stream.
Please comment, and you can ask questions and stuff.
So let us begin. I think there's nobody watching, but who cares? Welcome to the Geek Homeworld podcast. This is a live stream. I hadn't done this in forever. It's a Saturday night. I got tired of doing my homework, and I got it done. And I was like, I called up my friend, Digital Caveman, and I was like, let's jump on here and just talk about stuff. And
so we're going to talk about. This is just random.
Yeah, there is no process.
No, there's no plan. There's no script.
It's all part of the plan.
There is no plan.
You see, they're schemers. They have these rules, and they think they'll protect them, but I don't know. So
you probably haven't seen it, but McFarlane Toys just put out a Dark Knight Joker interrogation set.
Oh, oh my God! Really?
Yeah, and it's like
his head all busted
it's
in?
him, and it's the table, and he's sitting in the chair.
I love it. You should do an unboxing on your channel. What channel is that? Your YouTube
That
channel.
would be Digital
And
Caveman
you'd
Presents. You
probably
can
want to
find
go
it
to
youtube.com/ at Digital Caveman with a capital D.
that's
It's like it shows on the screen here for my name.
see right there at the bottom, scroll
And it's on the ticker there.
Scroll on the bottom.
The scroll! No, not a scroll!
Boy, did Marvel screw up Secret Invasion.
I
God,
don't know. I ain't even bothered to watch it yet. I did finally watch Ant-Man, Quantumania, and
They
Guardians of
shit
the
the bed on
Galaxy
that
3.
too. Guardians Galaxy 3 was good.
You know, I didn't mind Ant-Man so much. I had very low expectations for it, so
Well, that's what the
it
box
didn't
office was. Low
disappoint me.
expectation.
So there is that. But Guardians was pretty good. Now
Guardians was good.
The depiction of the High Evolutionary as they presented him in the MCU differed a good bit from
the
comics, but I didn't mind it so much as I minded the depiction that they did of Submariner in Wakanda Forever. And you want to talk about shit in the bed.
I'm a little torn on that. I thought it was good.
I did not like it. I didn't.
I'll tell you that I can't say the actor's name in Quantumania that played the High Evolutionary, but he did so much better than Jonathan Majors did as Kane. And I would have no problem if they did some kind of variant. If they couldn't get Jonathan, I forgot his name. I just said
Majors.
Yeah, if they couldn't get him back, if things go bad with his court case or whatever,
it doesn't look
people
like
did
that's
mention
the case.
Yeah, but if things go south with that and they have to replace him as Kang, I wish they could do something where they bring the High Evolutionary in somehow, even though he's already been established. I wish they could bring that actor in, and I would believe him more as Kang, as a threatening.
Well, I will
bad
tell
guy
you. I will tell you. I
than
did
anyone
like.
else.
I did like at the end of Quantumania when they had the big Coliseum full of Kangs, and then you had the Council of Kangs, and they had Ramatut, and they had Immortus, and and
does the Immortus look a little funny to you?
Do what?
The makeup they used, like with
honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I was just so shocked that they actually put Immortus in the MCU that I didn't pay that much attention to it.
You were just happy to get it, right?
I was just like, I can't believe they actually are doing, putting Immortus and Ramatut in as, part of the Council of Kangs, because the stories in the comic books, just the story of Kang period, is so convoluted and it's so hard to follow that, the fact that they're doing more than one Kang variant is it's surprising to me, because it can be quite confusing.
I agree. I'm just gonna send out a little message here, just for people, anybody's watching.
And I'm sorry, folks, if I look a little distracted at times.
It's
for anybody
me.
who may or may not be watching, I am trying to multitask here a little bit.
So am I. Where's my studio help? I have none.
Where's my editor?
Talk amongst yourself again. Tell me something about Immortus I don't know.
He once took the time traveling power from Mjolnir.
Wow, that's cool. All right. I gotta go back here and find my copy. I should have did this earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have done that.
What's the address? Tell me the address again for
which.
Let me.
My
it's
address.
Right here. Well, we'll do mine real quick. No. Read that to me. YouTube.com. Okay.
YouTube.com / Geek Homeworld 4248.
Boom. There we go. Yeah, but not now. Boom. All right, I put it out on my social media there. Well, that social media. Let's see. Let's go to my profile. 1 second.
Uno momento.
Un
Por
momento.
favor.
You are now acting. Yeah, I know who I am. Thank you. All right. Live stream now.
What are you typing the video description?
No. Sorry. I'm just putting it on my other one because at YouTube, I can't spell tube.
That would be TOOB.
It doesn't show my little picture when I do it. It just says YouTube.
What are you doing it on?
On Facebook. People still use that?
People use Facebook?
Not really. Not like
I
they
don't.
should. All right, let's see.
Duck the Zuck.
The Zuck. All right, put it out there. If anybody if there's any chance anybody's showing up, they'll show up.
Yes.
But I doubt it. All right. So yeah, let's plug your thing again. Let's see. And what do? Come back on camera. All right. So your digital
mostly I edit videos.
Okay. Yeah, you do. That's all you do.
I spend most of my time doing is editing videos.
So you do. Your Digital Caveman Presents is the name of your channel.
Yes.
And you do unboxing of
not
action
unboxing.
figures.
I review. You never actually see me open a box, except for I think I did 2 live unboxings.
Is there a reason for that?
A few years ago. I would just rather review it than open the box on camera.
Oh, okay.
Because it's that can lead to a lot of fumbling and dropping and cursing and the potential to cut oneself and stuff like that. So
you've done live streams. Are you going to do any live stream reviews?
Live reviews, probably not. That can get a little messy, especially if you're trying to review the figure and you're trying to look at the comments and questions and answer questions and stuff like that. That gets a little bit. It's a little more than I can handle at one time.
Is it?
And get everything covered in a proper manner, So
cool.
It's much easier for me to just put the review out there pre-recorded and chroma keyed and all that good stuff, and then answer comments on the rare occasion that I get one.
Well, I told you I was thoroughly impressed with. I think I kind of introduced you to YouTube a little bit way back.
I don't know if I would say introduced.
Well, you
kind of gave me a bit of a push.
Yeah.
To do it, because I was already talking about doing it, and I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't, I don't know.
And then you got super committed.
There's Raz. Hello, Raz, my good
we have
Canadian friend.
Hey, can I bring Raz on? How would I do that?
Raz, have you got time to jump on?
No. Oh, there he is. Good evening, gentlemen. Oh, let me see. I'll put it in the chat here. Hi, Raz, R-A-Z-E.
All right. Let me see if I can forward him the link. I'm going to stop the camera for a minute.
Okay, cool.
And then I will sending him the link. If I can find the right tab.
Hey.
All right.
Raz, you got to have a drink with us. This is Crooked Cow, coffee, bourbon.
Coffee and the rum.
I love coffee, man. It's
I know you love coffee.
I do. This is only 20%. And there's the website.
Let's see. Raz, I am going to send this to you on IG.
Okay, I'm just going to put this in the chat. Sending Link on IG to you from Digital Caveman. Yay! We have something on my live stream. This is
There
wonderful.
you go. All right, you should be getting that anytime now, Raz.
Right. We can plug Raz too. He's got a pretty good channel.
Oh yeah, man, he's already passed 500 subs.
Well, I was gonna say I kind of got you enthused about YouTube, and then your Jedi powers far exceeded mine. You surpassed me, blew me out of the water.
I don't know, man. Your Savannah on Film got a pretty good bit of traction when you were doing that show.
I still have people contacting me wanting to do films. Like somebody contacted me about the 48-hour film festival, and somebody wanted me to do a short on ultra low budget film, and I had to turn them down because I moved and I'm no longer in Savannah, and I simply don't have the time going back to school.
Right.
And I miss film. I miss Savannah on Film, and I may bring it back. It's kind of I left it in hiatus. So.
Plus, they all want you to do it for free.
Well, what did the Joker say? If you're good at something, never do it for free.
That's right.
But no, I've done some free things in my career that advanced me for a while there in film, but yeah, you get to a point where you have to know your worth, and you have to not be afraid to ask that, and if it's not right for them, then if they don't have the budget, then they shouldn't be doing it, or
That's true. Or find some more funding.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to make a film, but I knew I couldn't pay people a decent enough wage to do it. So
yeah,
I wouldn't dare insult somebody by asking them to do it for free or that friend discount.
Yeah.
But I've done stuff for friends.
You're not doing it for free. You're doing it for credit. You get credit for your work.
The IMDb cred, yeah, that's a lot. That pays the bills at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
it's getting your name out there. Yeah,
it does. It does. And
it's
and
getting my name out there as somebody who will do it for free.
All right. It looks like I want to call him Azazel, like Razazel. King's waiting there. Okay, let me. He's on stage. I'm going to add him to the stage. So, boom.
Greetings.
Greetings.
What's up, Raz?
Hey, sorry.
Hey, welcome.
Camera. You guys gonna hear me good?
Yes. Yeah. You sound great, man. And you're actually. This is on my Geek Homeworld YouTube channel. So, I called up Digital Caveman. And I was like, man, I've been working hard on my school, and I was just like, I get all my homework done, and I'm getting a drink, and I was like, let's live stream.
There you go.
And so anything's on the table that we're talking about. We were talking about Marvel, and
I was actually going to bed.
Oh, well, I'm glad we woke you up. Thank you.
Well,
for being here.
I was going to bed. We're playing Conan Exiles, and
that sounds fun.
Yeah, the quest was over, so I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed now. It's 11 o'clock, and then I just wanted to check my sub count, and I saw you guys were online.
Yeah, you're over 500 now.
I'm at 519 right now.
Oh man.
Well, please don't check my sub count.
You passed me big time, man.
Yeah. You know what? It's kind of weird. I feel bad. I'm happy for the channel.
Yeah, no, don't feel
like
bad,
I'm happy for what I've done, where I'm at. But I feel bad for like Ninja Bale, who's been doing it for 10 years. Yeah. And he's a great friend of mine, and I completely passed him now, like almost 100. I'm like,
everybody's got their own path, and trust me, I've been doing this as long as Caveman has. I mean, not the YouTube. We both started in about 2008 podcasting. I kind of got him into podcasting, and I never focused on the YouTube. We were like, who wants to look at our ugly mugs?
Yeah, that was our whole thing. Who wants to look at our ugly faces?
I know, and we had so much fun podcasting. But had we been forward thinking enough, knowing that the video side would, be what it is now, we probably would have been a lot farther along. And but like, to me, it was all about the audio. It was about the fun of it, and it was easier to do audio, and audio is more in my since I pretty much edited the stuff, or if we edited, right?
Mhm,
Yeah,
yeah.
if we there was always editing involved in that because of the way that we recorded. We had to use
Right.
Skype. You know,
Yeah.
we were
And then we did the where everybody
and
had to record at their locations, and
yeah,
then
and
they
then
would send me the MP3 over that Skype, and if it didn't crash, if we were lucky,
that was
I'd get all the audio files, put them together. I'd have to isolate each of the tracks, and in between people talking, because we didn't have good mics back then or noise suppression, and I'd have to go in, and sometimes we'd podcast for what, an hour, 2 hours. Sometimes it was
2
just these
hours,
long
3 hours. God.
stream of consciousness,
Yeah,
and I'd have to go in there. It'd take me 8 hours to go in. It was like a full-time job. I'd have to go in, and when he talks and I don't talk, I have to go and mute that channel and back and forth. And then we had up to 5 people on at one time, and that was pure hell.
yeah. I try to keep it at 4 now, like me plus 3 guests when I do it on my channel. Just because of
Once you get more than 4 people go, it's hard to keep up. It's hard to hear.
People
yeah,
talk
and then
over
you have
each
some
other.
people who feel like you've cut them off or that you're not letting them
Exactly.
speak.
Right.
So yeah, I try to keep it at a lower rate. Like I remember one time, I think it was on Patriot Prime, they were like 9.
Oh
And
yeah,
you just
and
can't hear
it
shit.
really it gets hard to follow.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, the technology is much better. Like StreamYard is good. We found out something tonight. In fact, I'm on the free version of StreamYard,
Me too.
which works fine. But it told me I can't record. I'm in 720. That's as high as I could get my camera setting, 720p, because 1080p is under the paid plan now.
Yep.
Plus, this I can't record this. I can record this by itself, but if I'm just doing a recording using StreamYard as a recording device for the audio and video. But for this actual stream here, since I'm on the unpaid version, it won't save it to StreamYard.
That's right. It's saved on YouTube and that's it.
Right. So I'll have to pull the video off of YouTube if I want to re-edit it or anything, which I probably won't. But I'll go in there and I'll put titles and stuff.
yeah, it's a live stream, man. There ain't no reason to go in and edit.
Yeah.
Put too much
Yeah. Live
like
stream is
that,
just what a live stream's meant to be.
I do enough editing with my voice actor spotlight.
I'm sure you do, man. Because I know,
yeah,
just me doing my reviews and doing the chroma key on them, it's exhausting.
And video is, how much is for video? It's like an hour or 2 extra versus audio or something.
It's like this, man. I timed it out one time, and I don't know that it's the same every time, but it worked out to 5 minutes of render time per 1 minute of chroma keyed footage.
That's crazy. Did you see the new AI that they've added, I think, to Premiere Pro? I don't know if it's come to DaVinci Resolve, but
no, I haven't looked at any of that.
It's like they said it's pretty much going to put Descript out of business, but it does the transcribing of the audio, and you can edit by audio, and it'll pull out that part of the video. Like if you said and it'll pull that, you know what I mean? Or if there's a section you are editing a video and maybe somebody said a sentence that you didn't want in there, it'll take the audio and the video out just by simply taking the audio out and deleting it.
That's what I do with VideoPad. It's like a free.
Really?
Well, it's not free. I have the paid version now. But it's VideoPad. I have to edit by sound because, like, it depends. Like for my my tour reviews, I minimally edit. Like I'll cut some hums and shit like that I don't like to have too much or
right.
So I cut, but it's more like bulk cutting. Just like, all right, there's 1 minute there that I don't need. But for the voice actor spotlight, I found a better way now. But I used to do it like by trying to pause it at the right moment. But now there's a different option, and so I can just see where the sound is and then just cut. And I usually try to do 2 takes minimum per sentence on my script, because I want to be able to, I have at least one good one. Because sometimes it's weird. Like it takes about 40 hours for a spotlight. Because if I include the script writing, the research, the images download that I have to do, and then I have to take those images. And if they're bigger than 1K, well, not 1K, 1 meg, I have to shrink it down a little bit because sometimes it doesn't work properly on the tool, which is weird. And then once all of that is done, I do the recording, I do the editing. So yeah, it's about on average 40 hours.
Wow.
So I do one. I try to do one every 3 weeks.
And I can't imagine working on like one of Rodimus Primal's videos.
Yeah, it's similar. Like his process is like he did a live stream about a year and a half or maybe 2 years ago where he showed how he does it, and he's using Adobe Pro or something like that. And yeah, I think it's an Adobe product, and basically his process is similar to mine, where he'll have the voice track and then he'll just superimpose images on top. But he does a lot more of video sampling. Like I'll do video sample for when I want to display the voice of the character, and after that, it's he basically does the same thing. And but he has so much more research to do, right? Like he has to research every version of one character.
Yeah.
While I go on a couple websites and I see all of their work, and then I just pick and choose. All right, I want to show this, and that, because there's some actors I just can't list at all. Like my first ever was Dan Gilvezan. Dan Gilvezan, great actor, great voice actor, but he didn't do that much. Like he does a lot of theater and stuff like that, and there's no theater for IMDb. IMDb theater doesn't exist, right? So I don't know which play he did and stuff like that, but it's easier to do research because I have either Wikipedia, IMDb, or behindthevoiceactor.com. So that's where I get all the stuff for the video clips I want to I have to find the video clips and then record, like screen grab it and shit like that.
Yeah.
But the hardest part is finding about their past. Like David Kay, I interviewed about a month ago, or maybe a little more than that. And I'm going to use what I shot in the interview. Like, I asked him about it, where he grew up, where he went to school and stuff like that. So that I'll be able to set that up. Like Simon Templeman, nothing online, but he did one interview with some fanatics of Legacy of Kain, and he talked about how he got there. So I just basically, reworded everything, and so for that, I'm kind of a huge hack, like I'll find another interview, and then I'll reword it, and then I'll make it sound nice, and then just present it.
Well, Kane, I want to ask you real quick. I'm going to put up a little banner across the bottom with your address for people that's watching. So are you youtube.com/ what's your address?
It's at Raziel Kane Review. So Raziel Kane as it's spelled in my, and then had reviews.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He gets really technical with it, Raz.
It's called, but I'm not going to be on long. I just,
Well, let's see. Is that it? Did I do that right?
Raziel Kane Review. Yep. You didn't spell it Kanye, so that's good. Happens all the time.
Raziel Kanye.
I'm sorry, that's my award.
Yeah. Like Deluxe Baldwin, I talk to him every second day, and he still calls me Razel.
Razel.
Oh,
Go
Lord.
figure.
He's still having problems where his computer's
I misspelled your name.
He had the
Hold on.
he did a stream with Kato. Well, his birthday stream,
Yeah, his
and
birthday stream. Yeah, and it.
yeah, that was funny.
Crazy.
It happened like he did an interview with me, and then maybe the week after he did one with Memo, and Memo was a good 10 minutes alone just talking to people in the
You
chat.
know what? I remember that.
That was hilarious.
And you know, it happened. I think I want to say it happened when I was on with Deluxe on his stuff. Around what is it? Around 30. Yeah, because he don't hardly do that anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't. Well, and they all stopped. You barely get a sit rep.
Yeah, you don't.
You haven't seen a Cato present in a long time.
Well,
And
Cato has
Deluxe,
said, you know, he's been busy with work and stuff
yeah.
a lot.
Well, Cato, he's moving away from Transformers, I think.
I think he is too, or at
You
least
know?
he's being more
The
picky and choosy about
independency.
it. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, I am too. I won't say I'm moving away from it, but I'm being more choosy about what mainline.
Well, it's just that
stuff.
there's less interesting stuff coming out
It
now.
is. Well, it's for us. It's getting away from G1. It's getting away from Beast Wars.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you saying Kathleen Kennedy destroyed the Transformers as well?
Yes, she did that evil.
She's the evil Sith Lord. She's the
No,
one.
they ain't nothing. It ain't Sith. You got the letters mixed up.
She gives Sith a bad name.
Yeah.
She gives shit a bad name.
Oh dear.
No, it's just the whole like, okay, I ordered Fort Max because I don't have it. And if
that
they
mold
release
is-
Triptychon next year in 2025, maybe I'll get that. But I'm not missing a lot of figures that I want, like Gears, Ramjet. You know, I just want to finish my season 1. So Swoop, my season 2,
Yes, Swoop.
season 3. And because I have a complete movie, I think I have everybody. Yeah, even Wheelie. So I don't need a lot of mainline figures, but my combiners, I don't want mainline. Like Menasor was shorter than Omega Supreme. From
Dude,
Siege.
Menasor was so disappointing.
Well, not
Size wise,
disappointing.
now,
I mean,
like
good
the molds
engineering
and
and all.
stuff is great, but the it's just the size of it. I mean, he's sitting in my display right now next to Combiner Wars Devastator, and it makes him look minuscule. And I understand, you know, like the arms and the legs, they're pretty much still in that 1:32 scale. Motormaster, maybe not so much to scale, but you know, they could have fixed the size, the height, and giving him a little bit of bulk too by fixing the trailer for making it short and fat to, you know, making it longer and skinnier.
Yeah.
Like like you know, like a normal trailer would look rather than stubby.
The Stunticons are my least favorite team, like across all medium.
Yeah.
And I still don't like the idea that the Menasor is just the cab. Like I mean Motormaster. I don't like the idea of him being just the cab. I mean, yeah, people were saying great figure, great engineering. Yeah, but that's not Motormaster. So that was my beef with it. And then also the fact that he's short. So I have the Jinbao oversized Devastator. And he scales with Omega Supreme. He's actually a little bigger. But he scales well.
He's probably, would you say, about 18 inches? About 18 inches tall.
Yeah, I think that's it. He's 57 centimeters. So yeah, I think
that's the same height as the Combiner Wars, the Hasbro one.
Yeah,
it's
but I mean, Menasor, the Legacy Menasor was like what?
11, 12 inches maybe.
Yeah, So that's it. It doesn't work for me.
He's probably about as tall as the Combiner Wars.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If they all scale like that, then they're all too short.
Way too short.
So all my combiners, I think I'll just wait for a good third-party masterpiece, like Jinbao, because I want my combiners to look massive, like mass shifting,
like that that Jinbao Predaking. Even though I have the Hasbro one, man, the wings on that one look so much better than the Hasbro version.
Yeah, I want their
Combaticon that one. And I've got it's a knockoff set of Combaticons, but it's based on one of the third-party ones, and it's about, I want to say it's about 18 inches, but that's to the top of the shoulders, which are over the head. So from head to toe, he's a little bit shorter than Predaking and Devastator, but he still fits in scale-wise.
Which one is it? Is it Jinbao or the Xing Yang?
I honestly don't remember. I ordered it like 4 years ago off of AliExpress.
Hold on, let's find it.
And it's not aesthetically, it's not straight up G1. It does have some artistic license on it, but not so much that it doesn't fit in with the mainline stuff.
Jinbao. Yeah. Sorry, it's AliExpress. Just Jinbao Bruticus.
I'm sorry, Ed. We've hijacked your channel.
That's okay. I was getting my drink on, so.
What the hell?
What's the hardest part of y'all doing your channels? What's the hardest part on different formats?
Waiting on the damn videos to render.
Well, I might be able to help you with that down the line.
Sorry, AliExpress was asking me to slide this stuff. It detected some weird stuff.
Oh, yeah. I always get the one with touch all the screens that have bicycles in them or some crap like that.
I hate those.
Okay, where do I share? Share, present, video? No, share screen.
Okay, man, is your camera working?
Yeah, I got it turned off because
He always does that. All right.
I do not.
So which one do you have?
Apparently does.
You have this. That's the Jinbao oversized.
Is it? I can't see it.
Wait a minute, add the stage. Hold on. Oh, I didn't know I could do that.
Hey, look at that. You figured something out new. I didn't even know how to do that.
Yes,
that's the one. That's the one.
So that's Jinbao. Because there's this one here, which I don't like. It says it's Jinbao, but it's not. It's not the same feet. It's not the same. It's a different version.
Mine might not be the Jinbao. It might be based on the Jinbao because it's like it doesn't have the ankle tilt.
Right.
And the guns, it's got like Gatling guns on the feet, but they don't move. They don't tilt or anything. And I think the Jinbao one does. I love the wings on that one. Yes.
He looks short though. I don't know. But I want to order this one here.
Yes, that looks like the one that I have, and it scales well.
Yeah.
You just have to watch out and make sure you read the fine print on what
they
size
have.
that thing
That's
is.
the Predaking.
Ah, yes. And see, he comes with the sword.
There you go.
Where the Hasbro one didn't come with the sword.
Hasbro doesn't do a lot of good accessories.
They do not.
All right.
Of course, it depends on what line it is. The accessories in G.I. Joe are pretty good.
Hey,
there's a lot of company in China selling Jinbao Devastator.
Yes.
Are you able to send out a little thing about the live stream?
Yes. Send me the address.
Oh, okay. Or
YouTube.
I'll put it on
Send me
the.
the YouTube link.
I'll put it on the. Actually, it's on the screen here. I can put it on there. Let's see.
All
Let me
right,
see.
stop sharing. There you go.
Oh, that's cool. I like that you did that. So, let's see comments.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go because I'm tired.
All right,
But
man.
it's cool, guys. We'll see you around.
Yeah, maybe
Glad you
we can
stopped
make this
by.
a regular thing. I don't know.
At
We'll
this
see.
hour, I doubt.
Not at this hour. Sooner. We'll have to see what our schedules are like. Just an
Yeah.
idea.
I'm
But
just
thank
so
you.
busy
Thank you for
these
taking
days.
time. How did you know that we were on? Did you see?
Oh,
you
I
get a
just
notification?
opened my page, and because I'm subscribed to you, it was on my homepage
wow.
saying live. So
Yeah, I'm trying to get back in the swing of podcasting. I've been away from it for so long.
yeah. But I
I've
find
been
these
so
days,
busy
if you
with
want to
life.
talk about, if you want to do a podcast, it has to be about mental health. That's very popular. Everybody's doing it.
You know, that is
Yeah.
a subject you could probably have some insight on.
I could have some insight on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
No,
is
it's
very
I
important.
listened to Michael Rosenbaum inside of you.
Oh my God, the one with Wesley.
Oh yeah,
was-
man. What's
Yeah.
the
I
Crusher?
had
I have a
no
greater respect
idea.
for him now.
Yeah.
I really do. After watching that, that was riveting. To watch
Also,
that one.
check out the one I don't remember, but there's one where they talk about Nexium and Allison Mack. Like
Oh,
one girl who was in that whole sect that
yes.
got out, and
Like
she
the-
wrote a book or something.
When
And then after that, I went and checked a documentary on Nexium and the rise and fall of Allison Mack, and it's so fucking sad, man.
it is because she was so talented. I love Smallville. I grew up on that. And,
I did.
Yeah, and her character was so popular. Chloe, they wrote her into the comics. That's how important her character became and such a fan favorite. And for the real life actress to fall down that hole of crazy is just mind-boggling.
It's terrible. So anyway, all right, guys. Well,
thank you for coming on. We appreciate having you. You're always welcome.
Yes.
I'll come back.
Thank you.
It's great chatting,
guys.
with you,
Thank you.
as always.
All right. Let's see. Wrong one. So anyway, how do you say it? Razel? I always say it wrong.
I always say Raziel Kane.
Raziel Kane on
But I just call him Raz.
youtube.com/@ Raziel Kane reviews. And let's see, I can hide that one. And there's the Geek Homeworld one on the bottom, on the scroll at the bottom.
Okay.
If you get a chance to send that out to your files, maybe somebody will come and watch. I think we had somebody pop on here. And if you're just joining us, we're doing a live stream here. Please post something in the comments, questions. If it works out, we can even bring you on the live stream. We're not sure how long we're going to be doing this. This was totally impromptu, but if you get a good connection and a cam and a mic, I might bring you on the stage here. Well, we were talking about your before Kane came on here. We were Caveman. We were talking about your channel, and you do the not the unboxings. You do the reviews.
Yes, I do reviews.
You do Transformers. You do Star Wars, Star Trek,
Marvel.
Marvel. Did I say Transformers? I think I did.
Yeah.
And other things like that. You're coming up on 500 subs on your YouTube channel, and I know you got a big presence on Instagram as well.
9 away.
9 away. So we need 9 subscribers. No, that's 9. 9 subscribers. No, that's 9. Wait, that's 5. 4 is 9. Okay. Just send them 10 subscribers, okay? Yeah. And you can do this. You can like, share, subscribe, ding that bell, all that stuff here on the Geek Homeworld channel. I'm gonna get trying to find some more time where I can get back to doing what I love, and that's podcasting. One of the things I enjoy. And it's good to have Digital Caveman here. Thank you for taking time out of your evening. I was working on my schoolwork, and I was like, I got done with my homework, and I was like, I called you up, and I was like, we started talking. I was like, let's just put this on the live stream. So
let's just go. Let's go.
Yeah, we're just, and the worst thing was the technical setup. I had to blow the dust off of everything, it seemed like, so to speak.
Yes, y'all just don't understand. He has like
too much
12
stuff.
pieces of equipment to do one job, and
yeah, I mean, I've got
he he
$1,500 mic here,
overcomplicates.
and
He overcomplicates this. All he really
I
needs
do.
is a set of headphones with a mic, plug it into his computer.
I got a laptop. I got a Stream Deck, which I'm not using the Stream Deck right now like I should. Everything's through different patch cables and stuff. I've got a Rodecaster Pro that's recording the audio. I was doing Audacity on the computer while I was doing the live stream, but the Audacity was messing up. So over here, I've got my phone, and back here, I've got my other laptop that's watching the stream, monitoring it and all that. So, and I've got my 3-point lighting. It's not so great right now. And I still got to straighten up the studio. It's a mess in here. And since I moved to a new town, I've just not had time to really bring it up to the standards of where I want it to be and what I want it to be. So I'm working on that.
I never get my stuff exactly where I want it to be. I'm always thinking, well, I should have done this. I should have done that.
And I've got so much stuff that I need to get rid of, but I can't part with stuff. You can see all my memorabilia, and this is not even a screenshot of everything. I've got another bookcase beyond there that's full of my comics, a lot of books, my Star Wars novels, which Kathleen Kennedy knows nothing about because she doesn't appreciate.
Yeah, she just said, kill that shit.
Let it die. But
she said, wipe them out. All of them.
She was like the Federation wanted to do to the Klingons when the Praxis exploded in the undiscovered country, and she's like, let them die. It's like,
well, that was Kirk.
Terrible. That was Kirk.
Kirk, yeah, let them die.
But he learned his lesson towards the end of that movie. That's still one of my favorite Star Treks. We got 4 people on here. Hey, people.
I would say that I like, of course, Star Trek 2 is my favorite of the TOS movies. And,
Yep. Are you there? You just faded out on me. Cape Man. Where'd you go? Come on now. I lost you for a second. Let me text you.
Happened to Digital Cave? I mean, well, I do know what happened to Digital Caveman. I'm right here, but I don't know what happened to Ed. But he's back now.
No, I was there. I was here. I don't know what happened to you. You disappeared.
I disappeared. Okay, I was getting the circle, but it was over on your side on my screen.
That's weird.
So I don't know.
Why don't you pop back on camera? Can you pop me back on camera?
Yeah, I can for a minute.
There you go. Batman, you're in the Batcave.
It's Batman Day.
Is it Batman Day? Oh my God. That means Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, I think, are and Batman.
They're probably playing the whole trilogy.
I think they're back in theaters. I thought I saw at Regal that they're playing. Let's see comments. Hey, if there's anybody watching, it looks like we got 4 people watching the stream. Welcome to the Geek Homeworld podcast.
A sub.
Yeah, we'd love a like. We'd love a sub. But if you want to post any comments or questions in the chat there, please feel free to. If they're nasty, then we don't want to hear them. We don't take bad comments. We only take good, positive comments here.
Yes, so. Russian sex bots to go home.
Yeah, Russian sex bots leave. But anyway, this is Digital K-Man, just for anybody who's joined us. He has a channel. Where's your banner? I made a banner just for you.
Scrolling by right now.
There it is. Digital K-Man presents at the bottom of the screen. YouTube.com/@Digital Caveman with 2 N's. And a
capital D.
And a capital D, yeah. And then this is us, Geek Homeworld, that you're watching here at YouTube.com. We hadn't got as many subs, at least on YouTube. So that's we don't have the full whatever. We've got the number on the end there. So that's, if you want to sub to us, that's a quick way. But if you're here, you can click it. So
you need to look into that and see if you can get it without the number. It might still be available. You just have to go in and see if you can change your handle.
That's true. And for those that might know, we had I'm saying it wrong, Raziel Kane was on here. Yeah, he popped in, and so we brought him on stage. If anybody's out there and you got a good connection and something to say, we might put you on stage. So forever, however long we're going to be live streaming here. But Anyway, so I know you like hiding. You're like a turtle. You keep hiding your head, or what's
Well,
the one?
you know, I don't want people to think I'm not paying attention because I am listening, but I'm also doing something else. So on
You're
my
editing.
computer,
You're editing your video.
I'm not
aren't you?
editing. I'm not editing video. I'm editing
That wouldn't surprise
a
me.
picture right now. But it seems like that's what I would be doing is editing video because I swear, I feel like that's all I do is edit damn videos.
Well, you do. You do a lot of
It's-
videos, and
I actually I don't know that I do as much editing as I do waiting on videos to render.
well, that's true. Well, maybe you're.
I think that's where the majority of my editing time is just waiting on crap to render. And I
Maybe
try
your
to do other
processor's too
stuff.
slow. You might need to look into getting a faster PC.
Yeah, then it's not happening right now.
Maybe you can get an Apple. I know
Oh,
how you love Apple.
oh,
I had to go there, didn't I?
that's just wrong, man. Just
Well, in
wrong.
my new career, I'm seriously thinking about getting a Mac or something like one of those M2 chips. Man, those things are crazy fast.
Anyway, better you than me.
Well, I mean, the career I'm going into, I'm going to
You've been
probably
looking
have
for an
to think
excuse
about.
to get into Apple for years.
Well, that's not true because I've had Android phones my whole life, and I've never wanted an iPhone.
Hey, don't forget that Windows phone you had. I still remember that thing.
I had a Windows phone.
You did have a Windows phone.
I did.
It's been
What-
probably about 15 years ago, but you did.
What?
You had a
What
Windows
was
phone.
it? What,
Huh?
do you remember?
Do I remember when it was?
What
Yeah.
kind of phone it was?
It was a Windows phone.
What did it look like? Did it have
I don't know. It had a stylus. I remember that because you were super excited that it had a stylus.
Oh well, that was weird when they switched. Remember the first keyboards that came out that slid out that were kind of cool. I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah,
but
like
the buttons were so freaking tiny.
The first smartphones all had those slide out keyboards. You know, I remember the first smartphone I had was the Droid 1 or Droid or whatever it was, that first Android phone.
Uh-huh.
And it had that slide out keyboard on it.
That's weird.
I just had to have one that had a keyboard on. I just had to have it. Now I know better. Of course, you can't really find one with a physical keyboard on it anymore anyway.
No, but they were pretty cool because they'd slide out, you know, and then you could type. But yeah, the keys were just way too small for my fingers, and
well, you had to let your nails grow out a little bit and use your thumbnails to get all those little buttons, man.
Yeah, I know. You really stumped me because I can't think of what my Windows phone was, what it looked like.
Come on, man. That's been like 14, 15 years ago now.
That was before the dog times, before the empire. But I don't remember. To save my life, I don't even know, man. The technology is crazy, man.
It's
just wild.
It's those damn aliens they want us to believe are here.
I'm the first to bow before our alien overlords and our AI that's going to take over.
Robots. Please don't kill me, Mr. Robot.
We were in a restaurant the other day and somebody was going off about, you know, those people, whoever those people are, you know, that weren't their political party, that were mooching off the system and all this and that. And I was going to go over and say, you know, it doesn't matter what you believe about that because when AI takes over, they won't care.
Oh, it's all going to be one government before then, man.
Yeah, and then
But anyway, that's a discussion for another.
I saw this meme the other day, and it had had John Connor from Terminator 2, and it said the look that John Connor or something is giving you when he sees you giving everything over to AI, basically Skynet. But I don't know. Everybody is crazy, man. So you're coming up. We talked about you're coming up on 500 subs on your channel.
Yes,
on YouTube.
I was 9 short when I looked earlier today. That's probably where it's still sitting at. Let's see.
Well, anybody who's watching, you need to check out Digital Caveman, youtube.com/@Digital Caveman. The D in there is important, the capital D.
Yes. It'll take you somewhere else
Take
that you
you
don't want to
somewhere
go.
somewhere that you don't want to go. That's what I was going to say.
It's gonna take you back to the dark times,
Yeah,
the Middle Ages.
the Middle Ages.
What the hell was I looking at?
Uh,
Oh, I remember now.
what? What do you
Yeah,
remember?
I'm at 491.
I'm not going to. I'm too embarrassed to say how little subs I have.
No, don't be embarrassed by it, man. Don't.
I got No, I'll say it proudly. I have 41 subs. On
That
Geek Homeworld,
that's
YouTube.
it's not bad.
Yeah, but there's been periods of time, months, where it should never used to be that way. But I've been so busy with moving and switching careers and all that, and just exploring my options in life that I just haven't had time to commit to it. But I'm trying to get back to it, and this is a step in the right direction, back to podcasting, and which I've been doing since '08. And I had to write some stuff for school about like what I've done and going over my career. And I didn't realize how many different careers and different areas, stuff I've really achieved. It's been a lot of hard work, but it's hard to juggle everything. Like, I mean, you're making videos, you got a family, you're making videos, family.
Yeah,
and
it's
kids
it's a
and
little
pets.
easier for me because my job is basically my kids. So
Yeah.
not that it's any less time consuming, I suppose, than a regular 9 to 5 job, or if those even exist anymore. I don't think they do.
Well, I don't know. It's just difficult. It's a lot to do.
But I do it. I
you have
like
to
to do
put your
it.
focus where you.
It is frustrating sometimes because I feel like that's all I'm doing. I know every time you're talking to me, hey, what you doing? Oh, my damn
Editing
videos.
videos. But your channel's growing because you've been consistent, been concise. You've got a different video every day, which is incredible. And I'm kind of in awe of your work ethic on that. So, you get out of it what you put into it. And I used to have a lot of time that I could devote to it, like early on in the pandemic and all. But then, kind of shell shocked during that. That was a weird time, and for everybody. But
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. You can't talk about that still, can you? Can you talk about that now on
you mean
YouTube?
COVID-19?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can say COVID-19 or pandemic
Oh,
anymore.
too late.
Or
you just said it.
What are they going to do? Cancel me? My 41 subs?
Yes,
Where
they're
go?
gonna cancel. They're gonna take away all 41 subs you have.
I'll just relaunch under something else. Go somewhere else where I'm appreciated.
Why not? That's what everybody else does when they get canceled.
Whoopie doo, you're canceled. Well, that's nice. Good for you.
Disney, nobody likes you anymore. That's okay. We're just gonna sell to Apple and.
Oh, as much call me a shill if you want, but once Disney writes the ship, I'm still going to watch their stuff even when it's bad. And
I don't know, man.
But I'm not going to be one of those people that I'm not going to be one of. I don't want to be one of those channels that thrives on negativity.
No. It's just, I mean, that does get you a lot of
Kathleen Kennedy for what she's done, but I don't always hate her.
Well, I don't know if I would go that far.
She should get an award for how many franchises she's destroyed.
You remember that award I used to give out on
the bleepity bleeper.
Yeah, that one.
Bleep award. Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna take Brendan Fraser's Lifetime Achievement Award of that, and I'm gonna give it to Kathleen Kennedy.
He never deserved that.
He probably didn't, but I was just, the only things that would come to mind were all the bad movies that he was ever in.
Yeah, he deserves his name taken off that. He deserves much better. Kathleen Kennedy
I officially am taking his name off of that. He no longer deserves that award, and so he no longer has the Lifetime Achievement FDF award. That now belongs to Kathleen Kennedy now and forever.
And all hail the George Lucas heir apparent. We've done this before with Kathleen Kennedy, but I think it'll be different with God, what's his name?
Filoni.
Filoni, thank you. Dave Filoni. for you hadn't watched Ahsoka, which I've been bothering the hell out of you all week.
Yeah, no, I need to watch it. I want to watch it, but my
Episode
wife
5
is
was
like,
incredible.
she
Can we
doesn't want
talk
to
about some
watch it
Star Wars?
until all the episodes are dropped and then binge it all at one time because she doesn't like to watch it week by week. Yet she will watch Strange New Worlds.
Oh,
week
she
by
doesn't miss
week.
that. She will watch that week. Yeah, I know. Because she likes that show. That's why she's watching it.
I like Captain Pike's hair.
Okay. Star Trek. Okay,
All
I'm
I
getting
can
upset
say
now.
is thank
Can you tell I'm
God
getting upset?
Discovery is almost over.
Oh yeah, screw Discovery. That was trash from the moment it
I will
started.
say this: the only good thing it did was bring Star Trek back to TV.
So did Enterprise.
So
It's been a long road getting from there to here.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't. I never
It's much better.
hated.
You know what
I
it's
never
like?
hated Enterprise except for the very last episode, and I hate
Enterprise to me now feels like what the prequels feel like. The prequels were still Star Wars. They were still George Lucas. That was still Star Trek.
Well, it was always Star Trek, and it always had that Star Trek feel.
No.
My biggest complaint about Enterprise is some of the stories that they were telling were very much like some Star Trek stories that had already been told on Next Generation, on Voyager.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Deep Space Nine so much, because I think Berman, when Voyager came out and he was concentrating on that, he was pretty much done with Deep Space Nine. So I don't think he really paid a whole lot of attention to it after Ira Steven Bear was.
The problem with Enterprise is it was the only Star Trek. Michael Dorn said this. He said Star Trek was always looking forward. Enterprise was looking back and trying to rewrite history. But in hindsight, I put it up with the rest of Trek, where Discovery is nothing Star Trek. It's that dark, crazy stuff that falls more in line with Jar Jar Abrams and what he did.
Felt more. Yeah, it really did feel more like Star Wars sequel than.
I couldn't get past them screwing up the Klingons. In
Discovery. No, man! I'm still pissed off to this day about
it. Still irks it. Now, Klingons. Strange New Worlds. I loved that first season, and I loved most of this season.
And I want to say I like,
except the moment they did the musical. The episode where they did the musical.
I wasn't real keen on that one either.
I saw some of it and turned it off. And then the one with Lower Decks was kind of funny, but I'm not a fan of Lower Decks. I haven't really watched it.
Really? So. No, man, you need to watch that because it's
I know it's funny.
It's very tongue in cheek, and
it's Rick and Morty. I get it, but it's still
it really
not in the spirit of the Star Trek that we know and love.
But it's funny, man, because it pokes fun at Star Trek, and you have to be able to poke fun at yourself.
And it was an interesting concept, but it's like they've totally breached the fourth wall, I guess, with that and the musical thing. But the part that I could maybe stomach all of that if I had to on Strange New Worlds, but I cannot stand the ensign that flies the ship.
That is the only character I cannot stand.
She is irritating as hell. I don't care if it's unpopular. She is irritating because
it's not the fact of whatever her sexuality is supposed to be or what she identifies by. I don't care about that.
Irrelevant.
It's just she is annoying.
She is annoying, and she would never speak how she has. You would never speak that way on Picard's bridge. You would never speak that way.
Ensign, place this pilot under arrest.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
The ship.
You know, I'm all for strong female characters. We had Beverly Crusher. We have Tasha Yar. We have what's her name? Jadzia.
Oh yeah, I love Jadzia.
She was awesome. I could go on and on. Deanna Troi was a strong character. I did not like the first Doctor on Enterprise. not Enterprise, on the Next Generation before Beverly Crusher?
No, Beverly was season 1, and season 2 they replaced her with
You're right. You're right.
Pulaski, who was basically a
Pulaski.
McCoy clone, and it just
Yeah.
didn't work with that crew.
It didn't work with that crew. Yeah, she was
Don't
too.
get me wrong, Bones is probably my favorite Star Trek character. And I know he can
I
be
won't argue with
chafing at
that.
times. I know that he can be, it kind of feels like he's racist at times or speciesist.
I like my
But-
species the way it is, as Worf said.
But Bones is my favorite Star Trek character, but it just didn't work with the Next Generation.
Yeah. Yeah, she just didn't fit. Yeah. And but Beverly was just such a better character, and Gates McFadden is a better actress.
That's not, I don't mean anything disparaging to God, Catherine
Whoever the actress was, yeah.
Moldar, I think that was her name.
Are you talking about Janeway?
No. I'm talking about the lady that played Pulaski.
Oh, okay. I can't remember her name.
She played 2 different characters on the original series.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, it's nothing against the actress. It's just the way that they wanted her to play that character, and it did not work with the Next Generation.
I agree. Yeah. But back to like talking about Discovery. Discovery just does not fit. And I'm all for, I was all for a different view.
It doesn't,
but
feel very Star Trek to me.
Now, the first season of Picard was okay. The second season was almost unwatchable. I had to trudge through it. And season 3 was fantastic. It could have been a movie the way they shot it. Season 3 is what the show
should have been the entire time. All 3
exactly.
seasons of the show should have been that, but then it wouldn't have been Picard. And a lot of what was wrong with season 1 and 2 of Picard has to do with the demands that Patrick Stewart made to come back and play the character.
And being such a great actor that he is, he didn't want to come back unless they had done something different with the character, because he felt he had done all and said all he needed to do at Picard. And I'm telling you, I want a series with his son, and
you mean the one they keep rumoring, Star Trek Legacy?
Yeah, well, I would like that. Anyway, they've set it. They set it up where what's her name? 7 and 9. 7 and 9. Yeah, 7 and 9.
I got to go make a pit stop, and I will be back shortly.
That's okay. I can talk. I can talk to the audience.
I know you can talk.
What am I drinking? When I podcast, I like to drink. This is not a commercial. This is Crooked Cow Coffee Bourbon Cream from Second City Beverage co.com. Looks like that. Got it locally. It's kind of nice. Nice taste. It's all part of the plan. So anyway, this is an impromptu live stream. My friend Digital Caveman, he has his channel. You'll see it scroll at the bottom. Digital Caveman of Digital Caveman Presents at youtube.com/@ Digital Caveman with 2 N's, and the D on the Digital Caveman at the beginning is capital. Very important. So anyway, he's on here. We go way back. We started podcasting in 2008 with the Digital Man Cave podcast. No, Digital Man Cave podcast. We did that for about 6 years, and then we ended that podcast after 150 episodes. And then September 7th of, I think, 2014, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that'd be 6 years. 2014, we started the Geek Homeworld podcast, and we've been going strong ever since. So 2014, next year will be, is that 10? No. Oh my God, 10 years? 2014 to 2024. Oh my gosh. Wow. That just blew my mind right there. because September 7th, 10 days ago, because this is September 17th. Well, technically it is now. We started on September 16th with this live stream, so it's September 17th. If you're watching this is when that was recorded live. And we started podcasting. I started podcasting solo. So essentially I never stopped podcasting, and we've gotten 160 something episodes in 9 years. Wow, 9 years. That's crazy, of Geek Homeworld. And so I've been away. I switched cities. I moved from the town where I was born and raised, and love it where I'm at. Life changes, life goes on. So yeah, we moved to this new city. Been fortunate enough and blessed, I feel, to have changed cities and to moved on. And so I'm in a new city and embarking on a new career after being in the film industry and having a career before that in retail for almost 29 years, about 5 years in the film industry. I did a Savannah on Film. If you go on YouTube, Savannah on Film, you can find that on YouTube. That's my channel, and the podcast is wherever you get podcasts for that, Savannah on Film. That's when I was back in Savannah, Georgia, and that ran for at least a couple years or so. The radio show was a live radio show, and then put it in podcast form and on YouTube as well. And that channel's got a significant amount more followers on YouTube, Savannah on Film, than where you're at here on Geek Homeworld. But I didn't really focus on the video portion of this. I was always about audio podcasting. So throughout my entire career, I didn't focus on the video. Now I'm trying to get back into the video part of it. So trying to grow this Geek Homeworld channel. So even though this podcast has been around 9 years, at this point of recording, the YouTube channel hasn't. So trying to grow it. So if you want to like and subscribe, like, share, subscribe, ding that bell, smash it, whatever you got to do. All that good stuff. That would be cool. We'd appreciate it here on the Digital Caveman podcast. So I'm trying to get back in the groove of podcasting, and I just felt like I'm going to college now at my age, which is pretty cool. I like a challenge, and so that's a challenge. And I got all my homework done. I was kind of feeling good getting my homework done, and I called my friend to talk to him like I normally do, and I was like, "Hey man, we were talking about stuff, and I was like, let's just jump on a live stream." And so I had to kind of dust off the equipment here in the studio, which the studio is not put together the way I want it. I'm still working on it. I got a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things I'm working on, trying to juggle a lot of things in life, just like all of us, I guess. So I'm just hooked this up and figured I'd jump on a live stream here. So if you're watching, if you're still interested, whoever the 4 people are that are watching at this present moment,
I have returned.
Thank you. I was just telling them if you'd like to leave if you have any questions or comments you want to throw in the comment section, we'll be glad to answer them. Who knows if you're...
yes, I can try to answer a question.
Why don't you pop on camera so people can see it's a real you and not a robot?
No, it is an AI.
It is an AI. I did like...
Yeah,
it was good.
Have you ever
good
seen an
promotion to
AI
see your
this
logo
ugly?
there. I
Do
like
it.
your logo. Sorry.
Yes, that's my new logo.
Show us your logo again on your thing. You designed that because you redesigned it. I like it. It's like the glasses.
I did, yes.
And is that like, I can see like your beard and your long hair is like, the long hair is like red. It's like, and it is the beard. What is that, like earth behind there?
That's my Klingon beard.
That's your Klingon beard.
Yes, my mustache and goatee.
So I'm in the like design and stuff like that. So I think your design's pretty cool, and hopefully we'll be collaborating some this year and next year as I get further down the road.
So.
I hope so too.
That would be fun.
Yeah. I miss us doing stuff together. So it gives us an excuse to work together. So, which is always good. But I was telling everybody, if they have any questions or comments, they can leave them if you're watching the live video, post a comment and we'll see if we can address it. Anything y'all want to talk about? We were talking about Star Wars, and somehow that got into Star Trek, like a lot of our conversations go. Obviously, you can see my love for Star Wars and Star Trek, and I love film so much that I can appreciate even the bad stuff. Oh, Digital Caveman.
Yes, I'll put up a share. This is what I'm working on while we're chatting.
This is pretty cool. If y'all can see that, it's Superman in his not Hall of Justice.
He's fixing to get. It's in the Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude. Thank you.
And he's fixing to get skewered by Skeletor.
And you're using Corel Paint Shop Pro 2022 Ultimate.
Yes. Yes.
Fascinating. I don't think Skeletor could beat
why not?
Superman.
He's using magic. And what is one of Superman's weaknesses?
I heard that they're trying to remedy that in like the new Superman comics that are out. You know, with
I don't think
Jonathan.
they should. I think Superman should have another weakness besides kryptonite.
Well, I think they're trying to supersede the whole weakness to kryptonite as well. So I don't know.
I give up.
So just to tell you a little bit about Digital Caveman on this channel, Digital Caveman Presents, which is on Instagram and also on mainly on YouTube, his channel there. He's looking for subs. So, subscribe today. Anyway, he does a video every day, different things. Could be Transformers, could be Star Wars, Star Trek.
Yes, as
G.I. Joe.
In fact, right now a new one just dropped. As of midnight, my sizzle reel for the weekly content.
Yeah, you do a sizzle reel, which is nice. It's a good preview, and you have what day is the surprise day?
That's Thursday. I have Marvel Monday. Right now it's either Masters of the Universe or G.I. Joe Tuesday.
It should be Transformers Tuesday.
No, Transformers is Friday, man.
Why would Transformers be Friday?
Because that's when I started doing them. So on Friday.
The alliteration of Transformers Tuesday
I have to go on mute for a minute because I got a phone call I got to take.
That's fine. Go on mute. I know the Emperor calls. I understand. So anyway, while he takes that important call there, so Digital Caveman does unboxing. He doesn't do the unboxing. He corrected me on that. He does reviews of action figures. So if you're a sci-fi fan, if you're into he works really hard on the videos too, so you really need to show him some love and support. But he does the reviews of Transformers, Star Wars, and other ones that he mentioned, Star Trek, Marvel, DC, stuff like that, the action figures. And he's got a wealth of knowledge, especially about all of them, really. Transformers, he really has. That's more in his wheelhouse than mine. I'm not as big of a Transformers fan. I don't know the lore or whatever as well as Digital Caveman does, but he gives us everything to all those videos that he does, and he puts in a lot of hours producing them, and so it's pretty admirable of that and the effort. He's 9 short of 500 subs, and so I think I've convinced him to do a live stream when he hits 500 subs. So maybe we'll have him on the channel here, or even before that, or maybe he's already hit his 500 subs since we started streaming. You never know with the internet. So he's doing that. That's his thing that he's doing. So if you want to sub his channel there on YouTube, across that bottom of the screen, you'll see the actual way it's the addresses of Digital Caveman Presents. So anyway, that's that, talking about what he's doing. So if you're here, what is this channel about? What are we doing? I'm kind of working with niching it down, and I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to input. What I enjoy, and because COVID hit, it really kind of threw a monkey wrench in things because the film industry has stopped. And once again, now we've got a strike, the worst or the longest strike ever. The last one that lasted like 100 days was in 2008, and there were repercussions for years. I can't imagine with maybe 130 days into this strike, the recording of this in September, on September 17th at this point of 2023, I can't imagine how much longer this strike is going to go. And I feel for everybody who's in the industry, it's tough. I've heard some people say that the writers that were striking at the beginning, and now it's, SAG as well, in unison with them. And they're saying, maybe the writers should be day players and be paid like a day player, essentially, or not so much day player, but independent contractors. Maybe they don't, but they're pushing for the livable wage. They're pushing for no AI integration, or replacement, I should say, of their intellectual property. They're pushing for, more for residuals that haven't been addressed in all these years of streaming. And I don't know if this is just going to be another 3-year contract, which is crazy because we need something a little bit more settled in for those creators and all that. So with the strike going on, it's just rough, but it's affected the film industry. So in saying all that, that's one of the reasons I haven't put out as much content, is because it's been hit and miss with the film industry. And there's been some great shows and some great films and not so great films, that because I could live in the movie theater. I still love the idea of movies. I love the experience of going into a theater and having a communal kind of experience with other people who really are into the film and enjoy it, and nothing will ever for me will replace the theater experience. I highly encourage people to go out and support films and don't wait for streaming, go out and support them. And especially that opening weekend, it's become very important in the industry for metrics of financial reasons and such. But it's important to support people in the film industry, a lot of the hardworking people, as being part of the industry for a while there. I guess I'm being
Misa back.
Misa back. Okie day. But it's very important, as I was saying, to just support people in the industry. I think people should get a livable wage, and it shouldn't matter if you're
I really think that the residuals needs to be figured out, because they're not getting crap off of streaming.
Yeah, and the studios are being greedy where they don't need to be. There's enough to spread it around to where it needs to be. The intellectual property is important, the AI aspect of it. People don't realize how important AI is going to be. I mean, if everything continues on the trajectory that's going, it's not going to just affect the film industry and television industry. It's going to affect a lot of other sectors.
Oh, it's going to be everywhere.
I saw a report that said possibly 300,000 people could be displaced in their jobs. Jobs will just go away in those sectors. But
that's not good for people.
But it's not good for people. But I did hear the counter argument to that like, let's say when horse-drawn carriages were a thing, yes, those people lost their jobs. Or telephone operators, think about that, they've lost their jobs. But people were retrained, or they were able to retrain in other sectors, and actually more jobs were opened up in the newer technologies. I think AI is a little bit different because it's really advancing things. It's such a geometric pace that it's, possibly hard to train enough people. And everybody coming up now wants to be an influencer or a YouTube star or whatever, or Instagram or whatever the, platform may be. And there really is a need in this country for manufacturing jobs. I have a friend who worked real hard. He's written for newspapers before. He owns his own publishing companies, put out different lines of successful books of poetry and short stories and such like that. And he went to trade school, and he learned the profession, I think, of welding. And he's actually now a full-fledged member of the union, and he's for the union there, and he's working in welding stuff to that extent. So, I mean, he's a shining example of some of the careers that don't need to disappear. There's, there's a big need in what I'm saying for manufacturing jobs. And if we want to, at least in this country, if we want things to progress in a good way,
we have got to
we
get
got to start producing
some jobs,
stuff,
some manufacturing back over here out of China.
Okay,
we've got to.
Here's a counterpoint to that, because I love my counterpoints. Apparently, well, you're the wrong person to ask, Digital Caveman, because you don't like Apple. But let's pretend for a moment you like Apple, and that's your worst nightmare. But your iPhone that you're paying for, would you like to pay $1,500 more for it to be made in America completely? For your electronics?
No, and I understand that, but I'm not saying everything.
Okay.
I'm not saying everything, but we need to get some of those types of jobs back over here, because we do not need to be completely dependent on China for all of our products. And I realize that there's some of it is moving out of China now. You've got some stuff being made in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the electronics that we use are coming out of Korea, South Korea, not North Korea, because they don't make shit in North Korea except trouble.
Oh dear.
So a lot of our electronics are already coming out of South Korea.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I understand. So, some of the other manufacturing stuff, they've moved it to Vietnam, but it's still in. I don't want to sound racist. Here's the hard truth
about Americans
in the Orient, in Asia. It's still over in that area, and China is they're hot to trot right now to get Taiwan back.
A hard truth about Americans is we, generally speaking, want our electronics and we want them cheap. And, yes, we're against, all cheap. These, we want everything cheap. And there's other countries that we don't like the unfair labor practices in other countries. We certainly won't stand for it here, right? But we're willing to turn a blind eye when it comes to your iPhone being cheaper, your iPad, your PC, whatever, if it's made in another country. We don't care the people that get their rights and their rights to financial freedom or whatever. We don't care that that's trampled upon because we want something cheap. And that's wrong. We have to change our mindset.
That's true. But it's also, we've allowed ourselves to be trained that way.
We have. That's true. That's true. I love your ringtone.
That wasn't my ringtone. I'm fixing to upload something to Instagram. And I wanted a theme for it, so
I don't want to have to worry about a copyright strike. I'm not big enough for them to care, right? Which means I'll probably get one right now.
Not.
Yeah.
So let me.
But
I'll turn that down. Maybe you can't hear it now.
Yeah. I'm sure the algorithm did. But
it hears everything.
How do we fix things? How do we make, if you take the humans, you can't take humans out of the chain of the construction of, like electronics, for example. You could automate it, is what I'm saying. You could have AI run it and robots and everything controls and automate, but it's still going to be expensive.
There's certain things that AI makes sense for. I would love to have an AI that I could train to edit my videos.
They actually added an AI feature to Premiere.
I'm not into that yet. No.
Which I can't use that,
but
because I'm a creator, you can't use AI that way.
But I would like one that I could train to do it the way I wanted it done. But in the end, I still have to review it to make sure it was done correctly.
That's correct. Yeah, you would still have to oversee it, and
I think that's going to be how AI is going to have to be used if we don't want to end up, in a Terminator type situation.
well, I heard this recently, and they were talking about AI and the creation of stuff, and it was put forth that we've accepted AI already without realizing it was AI, because you have stuff that, like in photography, that corrects the red eye or does,
Oh yeah,
or analyzes a picture, or
we've
you're
been
putting
using it.
masks on things,
We've
in
been using
pictures.
it for at least a decade without even
Right.
realizing that we were
Right.
using it.
And we didn't think that, honestly, this talk of AI, I'm a bit of a futurist, and, I love the Terminator franchise. I love the theoretical idea of AI and, all that stuff. But I look at the possibilities of it, but I can see the shortcomings of it. And there's got to be a balance in it. You got to figure out a way that it works. AI is just a tool. It's not necessarily evil. Like, money isn't evil, but money can be a tool for positive change. It can be a tool for negative.
It's just a
change.
tool.
It's just a tool. Yeah. And it depends how it's used or misused.
Yes, exactly.
But with AI, if we get into, is it called general? I think it's called general AI, or it's something else. It's more than just the standard AI that we're kind of getting now. That's still a learning kind of algorithmic thing. But when it becomes where it's kind of self-aware, and I'm not being Terminator kind of, futuristic thinking. I'm talking about, we're closer to that than we've ever been in our lifetimes. And when it gets to that point where the AI is starting to make its decisions, and it's creating other AI, or it's creating other, like, robots or something, or artificial life forms in that sense, to create, whatever product it's creating or whatever, it's a different animal, because now you're going to have a possible artificial intelligence that is different than anything we've ever encountered. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be growing at geometric rates, and it'll essentially be able to outthink us, and we hope to implant enough, because we model it after humans, obviously, and we hope to implant enough subroutines or whatever they are in the AI that will make the AI compassionate for life, and smart enough to know the difference between, running a simulation and, like, oh, I wonder if I should try this war game simulation.
Would you like to play
a game? Exactly. Should I run that simulation in real life, or should I, knowing the damage it could cause, or do I just, theoretically run it or something? I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. So, can it get out of hand? Yes, but I know the other day, like, the guy that's created the Chat GPT, I've forgotten his name. Sam Altman, I think, is his name. Elon Musk, the Zuckerberg, they all met, I think, somewhere in Washington the other day. It was one of the first of their kind talks where they all got some of the brightest minds on AI and where it might be going. And they talked about how we can, people are talking seriously now about how we can create a more compassionate, more controlled rollout of AI, instead of just, doing what humans have done forever. Just because we can do something doesn't necessarily mean that we should do it. Just because we have the ability doesn't mean we should necessarily do it.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
That is.
And knowing the nature of mankind, we're not going to knock on Pandora's box and not open that box, because we
can't help it. We cannot help ourselves.
It's like when you see a car crash, you want to help, but you also want to be a looky-loo and cause even more crashes inadvertently, because you want to stop and see, or you want to slow down and look and say, oh my gosh, that's terrible, or whatever, or you want to run and help somebody. We can't help but not be involved in even things that aren't good for us. So what's the answer? What do? We turn this into a theoretical discussion. I love it. Now we're talking about AI. This is fantastic. Anybody watching out there, what are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments or post a comment if you're watching this live, and we'll certainly respond to it. We'll talk about it. If it's a negative comment, we delete negative comments, right?
Yes, no negative comments.
Yeah, because the internet
constructive criticism we will accept.
We will accept, even though you're wrong, but we will accept it.
But just outright being ugly or Russian sex bots, need not apply.
Yeah. We do accept long hair freaky people. They can apply. Like the song says. Signs everywhere, sign. Anyway, so I don't know. It's all part of the plan. All these schemers.
Whose plan? There was no plan.
There's no plan.
There's
I'm
no
like
plan
a wild dog. If I
this.
caught the car, I wouldn't know what to do with it. God, that movie was so great, The Dark Knight. We'll never have a Joker that good. Never. It'll be a different type of Joker. But
still not
as good. I still haven't seen Joker as good.
It's still not my favorite Joker.
You're not gonna say Nicholson. You're gonna say Joker from Cesar Romero, aren't you?
No. I was actually Nicholson has actually been my favorite on-screen Joker. As long as we're not talking about TV, because then Mark Hamill would be my favorite Joker from Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. Who knew Mark Hamill would be so great? We just thought he was a one-trick pony with Star Wars.
And years before he did that, we kind of had a glimpse of that in the early 90s on
The Flash.
The Flash TV show when he played the trickster opposite of John Wesley Shipp.
Which he came back and played, which I thought was classy for the one on CW, The Flash.
Well, he played several characters on there.
He did. But he came back and
played
what a gift Mark Hamill is.
Mr. Allen, Barry's dad. He played Barry's dad to start with.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. That was the first character that John Wesley Shipp played on the CW.
Oh, you're talking about John Wesley Shipp? I thought you were talking about Mark Hamill.
No.
Because Mark Hamill did come on the Flash.
He did come back and play the trickster
as a trickster. Yeah.
No, I was talking
John
about
Wesley Shipp.
John
Wesley
played
Shipp. That. He played Jay Garrick.
And he played Jay Garrick.
Garrick. And he played
guy. And then he played Barry Allen from the 90s Flash during Crisis.
You're right.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think he may have played another character in there somewhere too.
We're finally getting into the DC house here, so we can talk about the good and bad. I don't want to, but I kind of do. We can touch on it real quick.
Aquaman.
I saw the trailer the other day.
The trailer actually looks good, but it's going to flop in the theater because it doesn't matter.
Right. It's irrelevant. There are no stakes. It doesn't matter.
In people's minds, because James Gunn kind of made an offhand comment about casting Jason Momoa as Lobo, which I think would be fantastic.
I think that's inspired casting.
I think he actually fits that character better than he fits Aquaman.
I will give him credit because the rewrite of Aquaman's origin story in the 2000s, I guess it was, the one that we've got now,
and
that,
the new
that he portrayed, I think he embodied that role pretty well. Other people, could have done it. It's not like a, etched in stone, but I think he did a good job portraying that version of Aquaman. And that was a far different version from what we had, but it was a more concrete, kind of based in reality kind of take on Aquaman. So I did appreciate that.
And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike his Aquaman.
Right.
I think he did a good job with it as much as he could. but it doesn't. He doesn't fit what I think of when I think of Aquaman.
Well, you're probably thinking of the Aquaman we grew
But
up with.
Yeah, I'm supposed to say I think more of classic.
Right.
That's just me. Period. I think more when I think of DC and Marvel characters. I think more of the classic
I think
than
it's
the
Super
more
Friends.
updated. Well, I'm not going to go that far,
Wonder Twin powers
but
activate. Pour him up a bucket of water. Ice cube. Pour him up an ice cube. Really? He really
yeah.
got gypped on that
One
one.
could turn into
Wonderful.
animals, and one could turn into water.
The girl could turn into really cool animals, and the guy was a bucket or a mop or ice cube.
Yeah, it was always something to do with water.
Something to do with water, yeah.
And it upsets me a little bit that we did not get to see them in the Arrowverse, even though we did get, like, at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths when he opened up the Hall of Justice warehouse or whatever the hell it was.
They did a version of the Wonder Twins on Smallville.
And they had Gleeped a monkey.
And they did a better
for
Blue
like 2
Beetle
seconds.
on Smallville, and they did a Booster Gold in the same episode.
Have you seen the new Blue Beetle?
It was one of the last options. It's like,
but come on, man, that's the first movie in the Gunnaverse.
And it's bombed. I heard it's a good family comedy, but it's kind of paint by the numbers.
Here's the thing about that version of Blue Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
They've been trying, Warner and DC have been trying to shove that version of the Blue Beetle down our throat for 20 years now.
Really? I didn't know that.
It seems like 20 years.
I knew that. Is it Ted Kord? That's the one I know.
Ted Kord is the one that we're more familiar with.
With spoiler alert, I think he shows up at the end of Blue Beetle. I'm not sure if that's
he's
true.
in there somewhere.
I heard there's a ridiculous scene with the grandmother or the mother. Everybody gets powers. It's kind of like Shazam. And she has this big gun. I think it was in the previews, actually. And she's like shooting this big gun. It's so unrealistic, but it's, I guess, funny in the moment. And I'm all for representation. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't even concern me about Blue Beetle.
But why do they have to take a well-known, a loved character, and then
is he though, compared to a Superman or a Spider-Man or
rather than just creating their own unique character? Like, at least I can say, with the Miles Morales Spider-Man, even though they call him Spider-Man,
works for me.
He's still Miles Morales. He is a different person.
Character. Yeah.
Than when I think of Spider-Man, I think of Peter Parker, of course.
Right. And I think majority of people think of Peter Parker.
I don't have a problem with Miles Morales. I don't have a problem with them calling him Spider-Man.
I think he's an
I don't have a problem with him
character
working alongside Peter Parker.
Right.
I don't have an issue with any of that. And I think that's fine because they did not replace, at least the 616 universe, they didn't replace Peter Parker with a different person. Now, that's a little different when you start looking at the Ultimate Universe, the Ultimate line of comics, where Miles came from. In that universe, Peter Parker did die, and Miles took his place.
It can be confusing when you have more than one Spider-Man, But, but they're different characters.
I don't really have issue with them calling him Spider-Man either, but I really think they should call him something else just to differentiate him from Peter Parker Spider-Man. Because I hate having to go Peter Parker Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man should just be Spider-Man. And I ain't saying, go to the point where they're calling him Spider-Boy. Not that.
No.
Those days are over.
Yeah.
You can no longer have Aqualad and well, maybe you can still have Superboy.
Aqualad was pretty cool. I liked was it Young Justice? I love
Young
that cartoon.
Justice was so awesome.
Yeah. And they should have done a live version.
The Max, the HBO season of that. I still haven't watched it.
I watched it. They did go woke in that. And there's some things they twisted some stuff with the characters, and that's It's here or there, but it was still a good series all around, all the seasons. The Alien Invasion season, which I forgot what season number that was. I don't know if that was
I
season
want to
2
say
or
that was
not.
season 2.
That's when I
Because
really
you
got
had
hooked on it.
season
It was
1, and
so
then when it
good.
went into season 2, you had a time skip, or maybe that was season 3. I don't remember. And
I
then
can't remember.
like at the end of it, they had to fight pretty much the Legion of Doom because they had taken over the Justice League with Starro chips.
Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, it was a really good series, and that's the thing about DC that I wanted to touch on.
It was
Is
well written.
we talked about this on the DVDs and Blu-rays that they used to do, and I guess now streaming.
They are killing on the animated portion of
now
stuff.
The last Green Lantern,
or at least
was
they used
not
to
as
be.
good. I saw parts of it. It wasn't as good as what I'm used to.
Was that the one with John Stewart?
John Stewart, and I wanted that because John Stewart.
I watched about half of that one.
Yeah, I kind of turned it off for,
and then
it just lost me at some point. I don't know.
I tried to watch Super Sons and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
With I liked Long Halloween.
That was good. Yeah, you got me to watch that when I had HBO Max.
And then there's another there's a newer Batman one on there now. What the hell is it? Gotham by Gaslight. And I still have to watch that one.
I watched that one. That one's okay, but was it Hush? Was very good. Was it Hush? I think it was Hush. Did I lose you?
They did. No, I'm sorry. No, they did do a Hush.
I thought that was pretty good. I remember that being good, and the
and Under the Red Hood and
Death in the Family. They had such a long run of very good animated stuff. Their animated stuff and their stuff directed video was top notch, but their stuff on the big screen, they just couldn't hit the right notes.
They just couldn't hit the mark, other than the Nolan Batman films.
Right.
That was really the last thing that
was the best thing and the worst thing for DC, because that ruined Superman. That changed the Superman movies and made them dark.
Well, I mean,
Superman and Justice
like
League,
this.
Made everything darker.
How can you top that? Okay, I'll tell you how. I can tell you how you top that. You make the Avengers, because we had Dark Knight and then we had the Avengers. Dark Knight was the best superhero movie ever made until the Avengers came out. And still to this day, I think that first Avengers movie is the pinnacle to beat.
It's close. It's more of a positive pinnacle to beat, but Dark Knight is just so brilliant, and it's just so, the sound design, everything is so iconic about the Dark Knight. It's hard to put anything above that. But I mean, I'm with you on that Avengers, I can't. It's like I can't say.
And that's hard for me to say, man, because I love Civil War. I love Winter Soldier. I mean, those
Winter Soldier was about a perfect movie.
They are so close to being right up there with the Avengers.
Yeah.
And even Infinity War is close as well. Now, Endgame, not so much, but
Infinity War was, I'll never in my life forget being in the theater and the snap happens, and then the screen, and you're like, what happened? We lost. And they all start dusting. And then I knew everything. It was like, until I knew Black Panther was coming up next or whatever. So I knew that Black Panther was coming back. That was like, a given or whatever.
Yeah.
But there were so many man tears, and you could hear a lot of sniffles in the theater when it just went to dark,
Yeah.
After the snap, and like, you don't end a movie like this, what? And I thank my lucky stars that happened, and we got Endgame that basically finished out Marvel. That's where they maybe should have stopped.
Yeah,
and then rebooted.
They weren't going to stop there because,
of course not. But imagine, and I've said this before. Imagine if that had been like in 2020, if that had Endgame,
that would not.
And what if that had been prolonged or put off a year or 2 years or 2023, where we're at? imagine if we were waiting that long for Endgame. Oh my God, that would be unnatural torture. But
Yes.
it just like the movie industry, it's almost like the movie industry ended with Endgame. It really was. It felt like, and then we've gone into this kind of makeshift kind of thing. And then now the strike is still happening as a recording of this. And it's going to severely impact TV and film and everything for probably years to come. And it's a sad
because
state.
we still from 2020 and the shutdown and stuff,
right?
Things in entertainment really haven't completely gotten back on track as it is.
The numbers, the box office numbers is up there, but the attendance is still down. And I can tell you, I can go to all the movies I've been to since we've kind of come out of the pandemic. Still, I've only maybe Spider-Man was probably the last time I saw Avengers like crowds at the theater. That last Spider-Man, that
Homecoming.
was the last time. That I
Not
take that back.
I mean, No Way Home.
Except the first couple of weeks or 3 or 4 weeks of Barbenheimer.
Yeah,
because those were some. That's other than that, it was Spider-Man, and that's all the 2020s have been, basically for theater. I mean, attendance wise.
As far as No Way Home goes, that's really the only movie out of Marvel's Phase 4 that's
it was the best.
It was the best. Multiverse of Madness isn't horrible.
I enjoyed it,
but I think
Thor was
part of the letdown.
Love and Thunder
with
was
that one
horrible.
Love and Thunder was a piece of crap.
It was. We gave Taika Waititi too much leeway.
Yes,
and they should have reined that in.
We said, hey, we like Ragnarok too much. That's what happened.
Exactly, and you can catch lightning in a bottle. And
but Multiverse of Madness isn't a bad film. They should have turned
Gore the God Butcher loose on the Marvel Universe.
Oh, definitely.
And Thor should have. I would have had no problem with Jane coming in to be Thor, and that being Chris Hemsworth's exit from the.
I never had a problem with her being Thor because knowing what I knew about the character,
comics,
I knew she wasn't going to stay Thor.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with that per se, because again, they're replacing Thor, but you also know that Thor's coming back.
Yeah. Now I agree.
Now whether he's coming back again, I don't know. Chris Hemsworth is, he keeps saying he's going to retire, and then he does Netflix movies, and so.
Well, he's still got to pay the bills. The mortgage still has to get paid.
That's right. That's right. He's got to pay for all those surfing trips he takes.
That's right.
Playing with the sharks on Nat Geo.
They should have.
But anyway, as far as Multiverse of Madness goes, it wasn't a bad film. I just think I had built my expectations for it up so much that
I agree.
It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
And Elizabeth Olsen, she has never played a bad role as Scarlet Witch. She just knocks it out of the park in all of her performances. Every single time. And I hated the character assassination they did of her redemption arc from WandaVision, which is still the best Disney Plus show they ever did. But I did appreciate what Sam Raimi did with it, with her character. But, I almost want her to be redeemed. I don't see her as a villain. And I don't want to see her at Wanda as a
it's
villain.
like this. As far as Wanda goes, she's unstable because of her power.
Chaos magic.
She has so much power that it does make her unstable at times. And I mean, it's happened.
Yeah.
And it's not once or twice that it's happened in the comics. Right. Even it happens.
Well, that's one of those ultimate switches. As a writer, you
three
can flip,
times,
at least
in the
three
times that I can think of. She wigged out and joined up with Magneto in West Coast Avengers after she found out that her twins were not real.
Yeah.
Then there was the Avengers disassembled story arc where, you know, Avengers were getting killed and it turned out Wanda was behind it. And then, of course, House of M, which I don't know if you could really say Wanda was behind House of M itself. That was more Pietro.
But she
whispering
has
in
a
her
kind
ear.
of power that's just, it's so godlike that
It is.
you know.
Because it's not, you know, you want to call it chaos magic, you want to call it, you know, other things, but what it boils down to is it's a mutant power to alter probability.
Which is crazy. Which in itself is
I
too
mean,
powerful a power to have.
That's what you would refer to as an omega level power.
That's
up there.
Your Phoenix Force
That's up there
level.
with the Phoenix Force. That's up there with Magneto being able to control magnetism. It's up there with Storm being able to control the weather.
That's up there with Onslaught.
It's Graviton being able to control gravity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so much power that it's mind-boggling.
Yeah. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
It does. Either that or it makes you sleepy.
Yeah. Is that a hint? Because I'm getting sleepy.
No, that's not. No, that was a barb at the president. Because he's so sleepy.
He's not sleepy.
He's sleepy. God, are they going to impeach him?
That's crazy. What's this country come to? Now it's just total partisan rhetoric on both sides.
It is, man. It's crazy.
I'm like, stop.
You know, the Democrats are trying so hard to throw something at the wall to get Trump disqualified from running for president again. And now the Republicans are
necessarily, but
you know, they're trying.
He's done some things that he needs to probably answer to.
Well, he's not the only one.
He's not. No, I agree. I was going to say that. You know, it's on both sides.
It's on both sides of the aisle.
We need,
and even like the other day we were talking. You were like, yeah, Pelosi's running for speaker again, and I wish she'd just retire. And I was like, I can't believe, who the hell are you? I can't believe you just said that.
She retired, and she needs to step aside. Honestly, you know, I'm not. This is not ageism, but she stepped aside. It's time to let some new younger blood in there. And I personally don't think Biden should run.
No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't.
And
neither should Kamala, because anyway,
I don't think she has much of it. I don't feel confident, or we haven't
every time she
seen that. We haven't seen her.
I'm not just.
We haven't. She hasn't been in the position where she's had to really lead, and I feel like a disservice has been done to her.
There's a reason for that, and the reason is every time she opens her mouth, she sounds like she's drunk or high. And I'm not saying that's just the way she's done.
Well, you're saying that because Republican.
No, I'm not. I'm just what
I'm saying about it is I don't feel, just from what I've seen in the press, and see her interacting, I don't feel that she's confident enough in her position. I don't think she's been given enough responsibility that she can show what she can do. I think she has the ability. I just feel like she needs to experience more before she can take on that role. And I feel Biden was like almost overqualified for the presidency, but I feel like his age is, and it's not ageism, but I just feel like he, you know,
it's not necessarily his age, but it's his state of mind.
I don't know that his state of mind is that bad.
That even goes back so far as during the Reagan administration. You know, during the last half of his second term.
I did see a video the other day that had Robin Williams on it talking about Joe Biden, and this was probably from the 90s, I guess. And he was talking about, you know, how he speaks and he says stuff that, you know, is off cuff. But I think that's just his way of communicating, and it's not necessarily what we consider a normal way of communicating. and him dealing with the speech impediments that he had and all the stuttering at a younger age. I mean, he did get past that, but sometimes it comes out in his speeches and it makes him seem like he's not cognitively there. But I think he's a smart man. He knows what he wants. But I think regardless of all the possible medical things, I feel like that he's done what he needed to do in one term, and he just needs to kind of step aside, because I don't see, if he did step aside, I don't see that the Democrats have found a viable replacement for him. They don't have
the
one.
The Republicans, hell, they don't even have a good candidate.
They don't. And
I mean, who is DeSantis out of Florida? Ain't that the one out of Florida?
He's self-destructing.
He's dying, man.
Yeah. DeSanctimonious or whatever. Or just Satan, as
I don't know about
some people
all that.
in Florida.
I'm just,
I know they call him DeSatan.
You know, he's apparently the front runner, and he's just dying out there, man.
I feel like someone's going to come out of nowhere. The thing is, I don't.
Kennedy.
I look around. I don't think. What is his name? Is he RFK's son? I can't remember. Yeah. I don't feel strongly about him, but I look around and I don't see any Martin Luther Kings out there. I don't see any Gandhis. I don't see any, leaders. I don't see the next Martin Luther King. I don't see the next, I don't know, Malcolm X or whoever. I don't see anybody out there that feels like a leader that's going to take this country and take it to the next level that the greatness that it could be at, that we've achieved before. I don't feel, I feel like Trump is an alternative to the status quo. And
here's the thing about Trump.
He's gotten away with so much stuff.
It's because he's an outsider.
People like that.
But
Bernie was an outsider.
The DC insiders are scared of him because he doesn't need the money from the special interest. He doesn't need it. Yeah. So he's not gonna, it's just like his first term. He's gonna get in there and he's not gonna owe anybody anything.
Except Russia.
And it's hard. Yeah, okay.
But
no, going back to Russia, there was more collusion with the Russia going on with Hillary than there was with Don.
Oh, okay. God, no, I disagree with that. Hillary was qualified. See, on paper, Hillary.
I'm not gonna say she's not politically astute, because she is very politically astute.
She was a great Secretary of State until they brought up Benghazi. But I mean, other than that, people on both sides of the aisle at the time said she was great as Secretary of State. When she decided to run, then a lot of people jumped camp and jumped ship and turned against her.
I will honestly tell you, I don't think she would have made a good president.
I think she would have made a good president, but the thing is, I don't think a lot of people, we're still, as far as we need to go with civil rights, we still, with women's rights, have a long way to go. We've made inroads in the last several years, but I don't think this country, it's sad that this country is not ready for a woman president.
I can kind of see both sides of the women's argument. There's points that are made on both sides that make sense to me. Like, we have all these sports ladies. Well, I won't say there's a lot. It's a small, just like most of these things that are going on now, it's a small vocal minority that are screaming, women in sports are just as good as men in sports and should get paid just as much. And on the flip side of that, there's even female athletes that have come out and said, look, we should not be paid as much as a male athlete because we do not have the draw that the male athletes have. We don't have the attendance in the stadiums, like women's soccer versus men's soccer.
True.
The men's soccer stadium is going to be packed.
Maybe the only thing that could rival that in a sport, I would think, might be tennis.
Even with tennis, man, the females, you take the top female which is
maybe
probably what
when Venus and her sister were playing, you
take them. They have
might have
even
been a point.
said, Serena
Really?
Williams even said that she can't compete at the same level as the lower tiered men. She said that.
That's that's another subject. That's a road I don't. That's
And
a river
then,
I don't want to
there's
swim down.
that whole thing of people identifying as female to be in female sports. I don't think that's right at all. It's still a man competing against women. That ain't right.
Well, I just don't want to comment on that. That's a road I don't want to travel down.
Well, I'm
that's
sorry. I feel like I feel about it, and I think again, it's a small vocal minority that is trying to force all these changes that maybe necessarily the entire community of that persuasion of people
if it's
don't
an
want to do.
injustice, if something is an injustice, it shouldn't matter how small it is or how big it is. If it's an injustice, it's an injustice, and it should be
what's an
corrected.
injustice about it?
I'm just saying if something is,
I look at it like this, and I could be wrong, I could be mistaken, but you take something like a lot of people, they want to lump themselves in with the gay and lesbian community, right? Well, the gay and lesbian community don't necessarily have anything in common with these folks. And here's the thing. I'm not a homosexual, obviously. But I don't have anything against
it might not be obvious to our viewers.
Well, it should be. Because there is precedent in nature that homosexuality does happen. There is homosexual behavior in the animal kingdom.
It was more common
of the human race.
in the Roman times. It was more of it was about dominance and what's the other word? Like social status and dominance over submission. Like dominance and submission. In that time it was, if you look back, because women didn't have rights in Shakespeare's time, they didn't have the right, and the men had to play the parts of women in the plays.
Right.
Not that was, they were being,
well, it wasn't,
they were identifying as gay or anything like that.
It wasn't just that. It was also like in Japan, the kabuki theaters. There were no female actors. That was all dudes.
Wow.
And there was some stuff happening behind the stage that you might not necessarily want to be a part of. You know what I mean? But my point,
just like the secret parties in Hollywood.
My point is, there is precedent within the animal kingdom that homosexuality does happen. It is a natural occurrence. I mean, if you want a specific example, a bonobo ape will stick their stuff in wherever, whatever. It don't matter. They are sex crazy monkeys. And
crazy monkeys. I don't know how we got on this topic.
I don't know either. I'm just crazy, I guess. But as far as that rest of that stuff, I identify as this, I identify as that. And I don't want this to sound like I'm being mean about it. I'm not trying to be mean, but I think these people are legitimately suffering from some type of mental illness.
I mean, history will decide that, or I suppose. But
and I could
don't
be
know
wrong.
that I agree with that.
I just don't understand it, but I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I don't think somebody should just up and decide one day, hey, these are the pronouns you should use for me because I identify as this, that, or the other. And then get all bent out of shape if somebody accidentally, because of their
I try to
appearance.
keep my nose out of other people's business because I got my own problems to deal with. And
But here's the
but
thing, man.
the thing is,
If
now
they were minding,
if I had a child, which
if
I
the,
don't, but if I had a child and they were in school, and let's say they were in kindergarten or first or third grade or whatever, and they were trying to teach alternative lifestyles,
a
I don't
public
think I'd
school
be
ain't the place for that.
comfortable. I don't think I'd be comfortable for a child of, you know, a lower age to learn about things like that, because when a child's development isn't up to the
And
level of understanding what any of that is,
exactly.
I don't think it should be forced upon them. Now, if you have a child though, and that child expresses, "Hey, I'm different. I know I feel different. I respond differently than others," then that's a personal thing with that family and that child, and to decide if that child
But here's the
really
thing, it's
is.
no damn body else's business.
It isn't, but we don't want to go back to the days of don't ask, don't tell, because
No,
that was
I'm not
used
saying that.
to im- really I won't say imprison, but maybe imprison, but that was used to keep some people down that were gay, that were, whatever they were, yeah, and whatever they identified as, and I don't think we need to go back to something like that, because that's not constructive. And
But
but to
you know,
me, it's like it from a story point of view, and I think we've talked about this. The story in a film or TV program, whatever, is the most important thing before your visual effects, before everything else, your special effects, whatever you do, um, before your sound, before your picture, all that stuff, cinematography. It comes down to the story. If the story's well written, it can stand on its own merits, and that's the core of what makes a good film or TV or whatever. But if the story, to have the characters like in some of the movies, and the part of the woke culture thing where you have to show representation, and that's fine. Representation is fine. We're not against that. But when it changes the fundamental parts of the story, where the story was not written that way, that's a problem for me. But if it's part of a character's integral part of that character's story, what their sexuality is, then I believe, yes, if that's part of the story, if that's an integral part of the telling of the story, then yes, that should be addressed in the story, however it's addressed. But if you have a story that's been established, let's say like Star Wars, and then you feel the need to just reposition, to come back to a character and let's change the sexuality, like in the comics or whatever, Luke Skywalker's bisexual. There was like something.
I missed that.
No, there was like a book or something. I read. I saw this. I don't remember which one it was, but somebody out there will know.
It must have been that AI Luke Skywalker.
I don't know. The AI version that rewrote Secret Invasion or whatever, did a better job than the actual people that wrote that
the
TV
show. Yeah, I haven't watched it
very
yet.
interesting.
I'm not in a hurry to watch it.
Don't rush to it. That broke my heart because I wanted Nick Fury, I wanted Samuel Jackson to have a big hit with that one, and that was such a great potential. That should have been a film, and it should have been not turned out the way it turned out. But anyway, if you can't take a character like Luke Skywalker and just, I guess you could, because they did in the comics, and not just because something exists in the comics doesn't necessarily mean it has to translate to the screen or vice versa,
Right.
But if you go in and you change Superman and make him a woman, or a green Martian, he's not a green Martian. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But if you create a Green Martian who is Superman, that's okay. But if you fundamentally changing
that
a
goes right back
legacy
to what I was
character,
saying
yeah, I have a problem with
earlier
that.
about, why do they feel the need to change an established character to fill their, social justice quota or whatever, rather than just
The
creating a new
message.
character. And I think the reason is because they want to piss people off. That's the intention. Is they want to make people angry about it to get more exposure for this whatever it is that they're trying to do.
I mean, it's become an old trope now. I mean, if you make a movie to check all the boxes, you
Well,
lose something from the overall narrative, the spirit of the
that's
narrative
all
of
they
it.
do in Hollywood now. They're just checking off boxes, man.
I don't have any problem with characters and their stories being told. I mean, that's important. It's important for the stories to be heard, but they can exist in their own way without mudding up what's come before. It's like, and it's not so much just the representation thing. It's just, the need for the lack thereof of new ideas and the reboots and chapter 4, chapter 5, whatever, sequel 4, sequel 5, whatever that we
Yes.
have.
Franchise.
It
It's all
feels
about
like
making a franchise.
it's about making a franchise, and if Marvel didn't do anything if it did anything, it definitely did that. It goes back farther to Star Wars and stuff like
Oh,
that.
well,
But
yes. I mean, Star Wars, just everything in the 80s, it was all about making the
yeah,
franchise something you could make a sequel to. So, I mean, Superman 2, Superman 3. Oh my God, Superman 4.
which Superman 4 was a much better story than it was a film. The idea of it
The idea of it,
was very
which
timely.
which was, that was all Christopher Reeve right there.
Yeah.
He
And he
pushed
was
really
on the
hard.
right track, but then the execution of
But
it, it just
a lot of the
fell
money
apart.
that was earmarked for that, because Warner Brothers didn't back that one,
Right.
and
The Salkinds did,
I
I think.
don't know. No, they didn't back it
No, they
money
didn't.
wise. No, you know who backed that money wise? Canon. You remember the
Oh,
Canon studio?
yeah.
But a lot of the money that was earmarked to have been used in Superman 4 got funneled into Masters of the Universe instead.
Oh, dear God. That was some waste of money.
Oh, come on, man. That's some good 80s cheese right there now.
Which is the one that killed Raul Julia? Was that his name?
Street Fighter. Street Fighter was so bad it killed Raul Julia. He was so ashamed that he was in that film, he just died.
Like Eva Bowl, is that his name?
Huh? No, U-Bowl did not direct that one.
No,
I think that was before his time. But God, that movie was god awful.
Yeah. Almost as bad
I would
as
be hard pressed.
Fantastic Four might be a worse movie. The one from the
80s.
Jeez. Talk about bad.
I've never seen that one, but just stuff that I've heard about it. Like one critic, they showed that once in one theater just because they had to contractually. And one of the critics that went to see it said that he had seen high school plays that had better production values.
I've seen 48-hour films and student films, been on some that were.
No, I will tell you, I have seen a worse movie than Street Fighter. It was Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and I wish to God I could forget I ever saw that piece of crap.
I don't know if I saw it, but I blocked it out.
Thank your lucky stars. If you saw it, you blocked it out.
I probably did.
The first Mortal Kombat film wasn't bad. I liked it. Talking about checking off the boxes, it checked off all the Mortal Kombat boxes. and
It's terrible.
they even at the end of that one, they set the second one up, and they did a good job with the setup.
Right.
But somewhere along the way, the follow through just fell off the face of the earth.
That's crazy.
And God, any U-Bowl movie, that's just bad.
Yeah. That's a consensus, I think, for that.
Because our common friend,
yeah,
he House of the Dead's one of the worst films, even by U-Bowl standards, is one of the worst films ever made. And he actually paid 50 cents for that DVD. I told him he overpaid for it. I told him they should have given him $10 just to take it out of the store. That movie was so damn bad.
And a hammer to destroy the disc. But yeah, I don't know. It's like there's
what's a bad movie you can think of?
God, there's been so many bad ones, because even the bad ones I can find something.
I can name a bad movie you went to see in the theater like 11 times. The Last Jedi.
I only saw that probably 5 times. That was not a worse movie than those. That was cinematography wise, that was a beautiful movie. The idea of Luke Skywalker passing on into the Force was a very Zen-like thing, and that was beautiful. But that was not our Luke Skywalker. It shouldn't have happened.
It's the way it was presented, man.
It was a character. They did a character suicide on Luke Skywalker, and for that I can never forgive them. And the other sin of not having the 3 legacy characters of Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker, and at least one freaking scene, just one little scene. Even if I would have had no problem with them CGI and them together in a scene. That one picture that that Mark Hamill posted where they were in the Millennium Falcon and it was new versions of them. I think somebody had doctored the photo or something to look like they were the newer versions of them. The older versions were in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Yeah. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Everybody, it's fun now to jump on Marvel, because everybody, it's like they said in Spider-Man, that people love to build you up to tear you down. And everybody's talking crap about Marvel, how Marvel and Disney is failing left and right, and they are. But I guarantee you they're going to turn that ship around. And when they will. All these people are going to be jumping back on board like they never said anything bad about Marvel or DC or Disney and all that.
I'm like this. I'm going to take it on a case by case basis.
Yeah. Because as much as I disliked Thor: Love and Thunder, there were things in that movie I still liked. The only one I really had a problem with was She-Hulk. Was terrible. I can probably find things I like in there, but I was
so excited that they were going to do a She-Hulk show.
I was too. I thought it had potential. And I wasn't in love with the idea.
It wasn't even what they said it was going to be, which they the whole time that they're out pimping this program. It's going to be a legal comedy with some superhero stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that.
And the breaking of the fourth wall, I know that was part of the character, but it just felt so flat.
She-Hulk, so
I know.
But yes, the way that they pulled it off, it did not work well. I thought the Kevin robot thing, that was kind of funny.
That was clever.
But like you said, it fell flat. It didn't work right. It didn't work like it should have.
Right.
And it's sad because and now we're stuck with that shitty CGI model of She-Hulk. They're going to use that for the rest of the MCU probably. I hope not. I hope they spend some extra dollars when they decide to eventually put her in an Avengers movie, that they get that upgraded.
Yeah.
A lot.
I almost want the aliens or the AI to take over so they can destroy any more bad Disney Plus shows. But
you know, it's
for
just
me,
the fact of if they would leave out all the agenda shit, and the
and the
only thing left on
tweaking
the
and all that
agenda,
crap.
the only thing left on the agenda is to make good entertainment.
And Mando, let's talk about Mandalorian. This third season.
Season
sucked.
1 great, season 2 great,
2
season
spectacular.
3 just
the worst.
The
worst.
I will honestly, I don't think there was enough of it for it to have been good. It was just
Lizzo and Jack Black. Just because you can get guests on your show doesn't mean they can act at all.
That didn't even really bother me as far as what they were, the type of character they were playing. It didn't. I could care less. They could have got anybody to play.
What's his
those
name?
Characters.
Help me out, Doc Brown. What's his name? Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
His character was totally wasted in there. They just that show.
Well, it's just like when you go back to Love and Thunder. They wasted using Christian Bale in an MCU movie by making him
Gore the God Butcher of anybody.
Because
he
not only did they waste his talent the way that character was written, but they chose an actor on purpose who is known for not wanting to wear lots of latex makeup.
Yeah. And there was such potential. I mean, there was the storyline there. And, we could have seen a Thor that was so incredibly powerful, but we could have seen, even if that was the death of Thor, and they could have brought him back if they're doing a 5th one. But imagine if the Love and Thunder was done really well and in more serious tone. If they just would have changed the tone, it could have made up for a lot of stuff in that film.
If they would have left out,
but the inconsistencies too, though.
80% of the comedy stuff.
Right.
And just took all that and turned it in a darker tone direction. Right. I think it would have worked a lot better, but it was
Thor like being able to give the kids lightning powers or whatever, that was stupid because there was no precedence for that. That was dumb. That was
not even the comics to my knowledge. Now I recently finished a couple of months ago. I finished reading the entire run of Volume 1 of Thor, which it was started out as Journey into Mystery, and then the numbering just carried on. They retitled it Thor.
Well, I want to throw this at you. Okay, there's rumors going around that they after Secret Wars, I think it is. Is it Secret Wars? That they want to do a reboot of MCU.
If they're gonna reboot the MCU after Secret Wars would be the perfect setup for them to do that. And if they're gonna do that, and for it to make sense without just going, okay, this is all sucking, we're just gonna stop. And we're gonna pull Warner Brothers and just pull the plug and then just reboot it and call it a day. If they finish out what we're think of as the MCU story wise, then it'll be much more satisfying to be. At least I hope it'll be. But the thing is,
we already did that. They should have just called it a day at Endgame. As much as I didn't want them to, they should have.
And who could have foreseen Phase 4 being as awful as it was?
I thought it was so ambitious, but it was too ambitious, and
it didn't have a direction. And they want the studio wants to say that it did have a direction, and the direction was Fallout from Endgame. But you know what? I didn't see any of that in those movies. I didn't.
Well, there was stuff and there's stuff that happened.
Those characters were dealing
in Eternals. You've got a freaking dude's head sitting out the Indian Ocean. And it never once gets mentioned in all the Phase 4.
Well, you don't know. That
wasn't an Avengers level. If that's not an Avengers level,
I'm not sure where that falls in the timeline. But the fact that it's
think they are either.
We're in Phase 5 and it still hasn't been mentioned is a bit you know, I think they're trying to just wipe that movie out of existence, yeah, and just pretend it didn't happen.
I mean, I fell for the hype of it, and I was like, this could be a good film, and it's interesting what Jack Kirby did, but
yeah,
it didn't translate.
It doesn't translate well to film, and they just kind of took a weird direction with it. They made all the Eternals. They're all like clockwork robots created by the Celestials, and that's not. It's not really the way that it happened. Did the Celestials cause the Eternals and the Deviants to happen? Yes, they did. But it was completely through biological manipulation. They were truly living biological entities who were on Earth to help guide humanity and protect them from the Deviants. Which the Deviants came first. They were like the failed experiments of the Celestials. And then so the Celestials perfected their experiments on the Eternals. And then, they experimented on other primates as well, which would eventually become in the Marvel universe, in the 616 universe, would eventually become Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens superior.
Right.
But they weren't robots. They were biological entities.
Right. And they just kind of messed with that.
As far as, they got what they got right in the film, like, these guys they were on Earth forever. And all these legendary heroes and stuff there were these guys were the basis for a lot of those. Now that's not to say Thor and Hercules and the like. We know those individuals. The legends from those are mostly based on those individuals, but there were
I'm
Eternals
not excited
too,
about Hercules
who got
and like the Olympian gods coming into.
I am a little bit, but I don't think Hercules is going to work well to carry a movie on his own.
I agree.
Even in the comics, he works much better when he's a part of at least a duo, because in the Thor comics, he and Thor teamed up a lot in the comics. They fought each other a lot too. But and he works as part of the Avengers, but as a solo thing, I don't think he's going to work. It's just like if they were to do, and I would love for them to do a Submariner solo movie, but I don't think that he could carry the movie, especially the version that they've decided to do in
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. It just
that was another misstep there. They should have recast T'Challa.
They should have, and I understand wanting to honor the actor, but there are different ways that you can honor an actor, and by not recasting what I feel is an integral character to the fabric of that universe.
It's just a mistake, not doing that, because where they were going with the character is very interesting, and he was, an actor is never supposed to be bigger than the role. An actor, the role is the role, and that's the story, and the actor is just bringing that to life. And it's rare that an actor supersedes the actual role that's written. I never believed that they wouldn't recast Joker after Heath Ledger passed. And I've always been able to separate my Joker performances. Jack Nicholson is one of my favorite Jokers, and but I won't say that Heath Ledger's was better than him. He was a different Joker. Now I'll never say that Suicide Squad. What was that Joker? Jared Leto. I did not like his Joker. There was nothing about that Joker I liked. You know. Okay, man, we've lost your sound. We've lost your sound. We can't hear you.
There you go. I accidentally muted my mic. How the hell did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know what you said, but if you want to repeat it.
Yeah, I was just like, I was agreeing with you about Jared Leto as the Joker. There was just nothing
redeemable about his
nothing
Joker
about
whatsoever.
that character. He wasn't funny.
He's a good actor.
He wasn't scary. Yeah. He was just
he was damaged. Like he said, damaged.
It's something. I think he's damaged in real life. I don't know.
No.
And then he goes on to play Morbius. I still ain't watched that.
I watched Morbius. I didn't hate it as much as other people did, but if you watch Pitch Meeting with Ryan George, if you watch that, oh my God, you'll be like, you every movie will fall apart after you watch that. You're like, oh man, he's right. That was really bad.
I think Sony is so desperate at this point to get a huge return.
Craven
off
is going
of
to
anything
bomb.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and the Craven's coming out, and I'm not sure if they pushed it back because of the writer's strike, but Craven, they're changing it where he gets some powers from the getting bit by animals. It's kind of like Catwoman being around cats or something. I don't know. And even without that, I don't think I'm not excited for Craven. Craven in the Spider-Man movie, yes.
They're grasping at straws with all this, and you know, I think they're falling back on that plan they had after Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, where there was this huge plan that they were going to give all these villains an individual movie to culminate in a Sinister Six movie, and I was like, that idea is iffy to begin with, because you know you
have to have some stellar
at the end of a movie. People don't want to see the villain win,
exactly,
unless it's Darth Vader. You know, the villain can't win. The good guy has to win.
Yeah,
and for you to feel good walking out of a movie theater, that's what you want to see. So the idea of really making a movie about a villain to end up making several of them so that you can make a movie about a team of villains winning. And then, you know, on the flip side of that, then you have all these movies, these 6-7 movies of villains winning, and then they're going to be in a Spider-Man movie, and he's just going to whoop all their asses.
DC had a fantastic movie with Wonder Woman. Basically, it was Captain America, the
first
Avenger.
Wonder Woman was, I really enjoyed it. The
Wonder
second
Woman 1984 was
oh my
hot,
God,
smelly ass garbage.
And I was so disappointed. I wanted to love that movie so much.
Because the idea of Wonder Woman, it was, you know, maybe a Linda Carter woman, and we got our little cameo from her, but it couldn't save that movie. The movie was cringy.
Speaking of cameos that couldn't save a movie, let's talk about The Flash, because I finally watched it, and
they should have just straight on done Flashpoint. They kind of picked and choose, and it messed some things up.
It's too much of the damn studio interfering again, and the CGI was not good.
Yeah, and let's face it, video where the CGI some CGI artists were watching it, and they're like, "If this is intentional, this is still bad."
It's not intentional.
Some of it they said was
they just didn't have the time to
the director tried to say that it was an artistic choice on some of the shots. but I don't
And
know.
don't get me wrong. Don't
I
get me
don't
wrong.
know.
I got goosebumps when the digital Christopher Reeve showed up, digital or not. I got goosebumps, and then they doubled when Helen Slater's Supergirl showed up too.
Yeah,
And
that was nice.
it was nice, but it didn't look great. It looked okay.
They got the Jay Garrick Flash from one of the unknown Jay Garricks from the Flash TV series from the 2000s,
Yeah,
which
and
is weird. And
and like that digital Adam
but you
West.
can't put
Holy God!
yeah. But you mean you couldn't put Grant Gustin in there? 'Cause they could have got Grant Gustin,
Why?
and they
I don't understand why not. Since Ezra Miller got to appear
right.
on his show.
Exactly. And that would have seemed like a natural tie-in. But here's the thing. I don't think Grustin could carry.
Gustafson. Yeah, I
Unless
don't think
Grant
he can
Gustin,
carry a movie.
I don't think he can carry a movie. I liked him as a Flash, even though some of those latter seasons of Flash were absolutely horrible. I had problems with the finale.
I haven't.
But I
even
never had a
watched
problem with Grant Gustin. I think if anybody tried his best, it was him. And he did have a heart and soul, for that
Yes.
character. And he did it justice, and he'll be remembered as one of the best portrayals of a superhero. But I don't feel he has the acting chops yet to hold a franchise film.
He needs to expand his repertoire some before he comes back to superheroes, and which he has. He's been in a few things.
Yeah,
There's a movie. There's a movie on Netflix where he wants to be in the K-9 unit or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't,
that.
but he doesn't like dogs or something. I don't remember. We watched it. It wasn't bad. It was an okay movie.
Yeah.
And then there's one I keep seeing it advertised, and I can't remember if it's on Netflix or if it's on one of the other streaming things where his dog gets this lady's dog pregnant, and so they decide to move in together for the pregnant dog and the puppies or whatever.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. So
Well,
I hope he gets more typecast as the Flash than he gets typecast as that kind of character.
Yeah. Well, dude, I hate to cut it short, but I think I need to bring the stream to a close because I think I'm going to be.
Yeah, it's already almost 3 hours, dude.
Yeah. Well, I did not intend to go this long. You know me.
Yeah.
But thank you for humoring me. And if anybody's watching, you can follow Digital K-Man of Digital K-Man Presents.
And if I don't get all my videos out next week, you guys know who to blame. No, I got next week's stuff is in the bag, man.
I love that you're assuming that anybody watched this.
Yeah, I know. Raz watched it for a few minutes.
That's nice. Yeah, that's true. Thanks to Razzie O'Kane for showing up unexpectedly. And we appreciate you being there. Go ahead and follow him on YouTube. And maybe we'll all get together and get on a live stream again.
Yes, and remember,
we promised to have more structure to
it. Damn it.
Oh, where is it? Which one?
That guy. Follow that guy.
This guy right here?
That guy. Follow this guy.
Okay. That's me.
And
okay.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding the bell and stuff.
There you go. Ding the bell and all that
stuff.
stuff.
Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each of you does count, and we do appreciate each and every single view that we receive. Thank you, and thank you.
We do.
So very, very, very much. Like, share, subscribe, ding the bell, and that, my friends, is a wrap.
All right, end stream. Thanks, everybody. Bye. End stream.